What's up, nerds? We are going to our house, to the Poindexter Lounge. We are going to watch some Star Wars, Clone Wars. Tiffany's got the popcorn. Check that out in 3D. Woo, 3D. We got dogs, we got puppies.
And also brought to you by Gatorade Zero. Zero sugar.
Zero sugar. There you go. Let me get here in the chat here and see all who is here. And then we'll get ready to get started. What's up, Mark?
I am just happy
Good to see
to
what's
not
up,
be working
Tanya?
anymore. I'm just happy to be off of work. Even though I'm working from home, I'm still just as stressed.
Tanya says she has Gatorade Zero as well,
Nice.
so that's good. How
I'm
are you guys?
excited to have yellow
She's
Gatorade.
got popcorn too.
Nice.
See, it's a regular thing.
We
People
should
people just know.
We should either get Orville Redenbacher or like one of the popcorn companies to like be one of
Sponsor
our
us?
sponsors.
By
because we
how much
took-
popcorn we eat, yeah.
Well, technically, we go and we get the 50-pound bag from Sam's, and then we throw it in this big, huge container, so that way when we need it, we just get one of those scoopers, like you would for dog food.
Mark says, "What? Tiff is eating popcorn? Shock." Yeah, Darth AC Ryan, we'll wait for you, man. No problem. So guys, so what are you guys doing to pass the time? I had somebody comment earlier on a video of ours and said please do a live stream. It feels like there's people come over when you guys do a live stream. So
I'm actually, besides work, because I'm working from home, and as much as I like being able to, go in pretty much, quarantine hair don't care, I get to dress in my leggings and a sweatshirt, that's the nice part, but I'm still, my phones are forwarded, my phone has become the work phone from the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But I'm finding it hard to stay focused at home because you're at home. You're like, ooh, the dogs. Ooh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to get this done, but I gotta get my work done.
it's hard.
So sometimes it can be a little challenging, but it's better than the other option. So.
Well, I hear you.
But I'm passing the time that I'm not working, playing Animal Crossings because my son's got me addicted.
There you go. And we pretty much are in full quarantine mode. We're hoping that nobody gets sick. Somebody we know is connected with and has a kid in their 20s that got sick, and so that I've had contact with in the last week before all this went down. So praying that doesn't go anywhere. But we're kind of in full quarantine mode, just kind of staying in, just locking down, and taking it easy for the next 2 weeks. They told us that we should probably quarantine for the next 2 weeks. So
if we leave, it's to the store, which we've done, and it's crazy. It's like Night of the Living Dead there because it's like half stuff. There's not a lot of stuff. People are there in masks.
yeah.
But if I do have to go to work once in a great while in the next 2 weeks, I have a letter if I were to get pulled over by the cops. I mean, it's just so weird to be like, this is our normal right now.
Yeah. And we were just talking before we went online. Apparently, I've got a tooth that's starting to give me a little bit of trouble, and so I called today about possibly being able to go to the dentist, and all the dentists are closed. So I don't know how that's going to go, and I'm hoping that this doesn't give me too much trouble. Right now, it's just when I bite on it a certain way. But if you've had any kind of tooth problems, you know that stuff can happen and escalate, and so just kind of praying that doesn't happen. In the meantime, I'm going to baby it. But there I go again, trying to give to our super chat. See, I'm trying to start something, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only on this phone. This is an old phone that I use to be able to read comments while we're doing this, and it's so funny because it seems like every time I pick it up, it tries to give to our super chat. I think I'm just trying to start something.
Got to be starting something. Did you see Tanya says, where was your dogs in the other streams?
Well, Logan, so Logan's kind of like, Logan does his own thing. Like years ago, over the last few years, Logan used to really like being in the streams and stuff and doing videos with us and everything. And you know what? I don't force anybody to do any, videos with us or whatever. Isaac genuinely loves what we do. And
Mark just says, I'm sure those uncooked popcorn
look
kernels
at
will
the
keep
face.
your teeth
Look at
nice
the
and
face.
strong.
He's just looking up.
Please,
He's just
can I
like
have
wanting that
some more?
popcorn.
Mark said, I'm sure those uncooked popcorn kernels will help keep your teeth nice
Oh,
and strong.
yeah. Well, what's weird is like there's certain things that that don't bug it, right? So this is really strange. But like solid foods don't seem to be bothering it that much. Like popcorn, no issue at all. I eat strawberries, no issue at all.
Cantaloupe.
I had cantaloupe. It gets in there and it just chews just in the right angle. And the cantaloupe, because it's fleshy like that, it gets in there and it like hits it, and it just feels like somebody just kind of popped me. And then I was eating cottage cheese, and that got in there.
The softest of foods.
Yeah, it's so weird. But it is. It's like Castaway. Hopefully I don't have to take an ice skate and knock it out of my jaw.
Mark says just ignore the gift package of gummy bears, pudding, and yogurt I sent them. Darth says they're still having issues with his teeth as well.
Oh, I thought of
and he says
him.
I'm good.
I thought of Ryan actually when all this started going down, because I knew that you'd had a toothache and everything, and it's like, oh my goodness. Mark says work, 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 school, school, work, and sometimes I sleep and cook food.
Mm-hmm. I meant it's funny, I'm still in work mode even though I've been out for a couple hours, because I knew that was his first name, but I'm still in like HIPAA mode, not supposed to say anything.
Yeah, we can't mention Ryan's name.
No, when I talk between clients and caregivers, I'm like, I can't say that, it's HIPAA laws.
Just Darth Tasty. Yeah, so Tanya, before we jump in, yeah, I will say I did watch the video about the Flash. It's
What's
interesting.
up, Caleb?
It's interesting, but I didn't. I don't know. It's okay. It was okay. I like Pagey. I like the videos that he does. Sometimes though, it feels more like he's just kind of making guesses. Sometimes, and I understand how that is. Sometimes people need to put out content and they're trying to just figure it out. I don't always. You know, I don't feel the need necessarily to like jump on every news story and try to do it. I don't know that there was enough in that video, because in that video he talked about like a lot of other stuff in like other videos that he has done, and then kind of just mentioned briefly Godspeed and the Pied Piper. For me it's just kind of, I just kind of want to wait for the episode. You know, I don't know that there was enough there to do a whole video ourselves on. Pagey did a good job, and if you guys want to know about that, I would tell you to look up Pagey. Look at this guy.
Sleeping Wookie and Senorita Floppy Ears has her head hanging off the couch.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least they're being good.
She's like, that can change.
What's up, Caleb?
Challenge accepted.
Alrighty. Well, so now we are here at Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 6, Deal or No Deal. We were introduced last week to Trace and her sister. And let's see, it says, Trace makes a rash decision after learning what they are transporting is for the Pike Syndicate. So this should be interesting. Oh, by the way, I also have been getting some videos done, and actually the biggest thing I've been doing is calling people from my church and texting people from my church and stuff, making them letting them know that we care about them, and you know, seeing if there's anything that we can do to help them during this time. And then also since WWE Network has been on, I've just kind of had it on in the background, watching old matches and listening. Today I listened to the Road Warriors Legion of Doom.
You got a lot of rustling in the background.
Yes,
getting your work done.
I listened to that documentary today, so that was fun. Yeah, just kind of waiting to get back to normal. So tomorrow we'll probably do another one of our wrestling streams and watch some more of our favorite matches. That was really a lot of fun that we did yesterday. If you guys are any kind of wrestling fan at all or ever have been, watch that along with us. WWE Network right now is free, so we can watch pretty much any match that we want to in WWE. Unfortunately, they don't have WCW matches and all those things, but they do have WWE matches, all the pay-per-views and everything, and Raws and SmackDowns.
Caleb said, so I just rewatched SummerSlam 2015, the Neville and Stephen Amell versus Stardust and King Barrett.
Nice.
He says, speaking of Deal or No Deal, I'm watching that on TV right now.
There you go. There you go.
What number case are you choosing?
So yeah. So if you're a wrestling
Tanya
fan,
said, what time is tomorrow's stream?
I'm thinking tomorrow we start maybe a little earlier, probably about 1 o'clock. And I will confirm that. I just need to confirm that with all the family and everything, and then I'll put out a thing on both the community page and then also our Facebook and social media and stuff about when we will be going live. But it should be about 1 o'clock tomorrow that we do that. So also make sure to note some of your favorite matches, because hopefully we can get to a couple of those.
Mark says you should do a live stream when you're sitting at your desk editing videos, so those of us stuck at home on our computers and coworkers are with you.
Then I wouldn't get any work done, because then I just want to talk to you guys. And I'd be sitting there editing and putting stuff together. And...
Oh, he's on our computers can co-work with you.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We can all just have like a working community. I actually thought about, I don't know how many people you can get in on Zoom, but I thought that might be a fun thing to do, because I know we usually have like a little group that's here, and stuff. And so I thought about maybe putting it on the Facebook page if anybody was interested in having like a big group chat. That way we could see you guys and actually talk to you guys. And we could do this Zoom thing if everybody downloads the Zoom app, and we can just kind of have like a different kind of live stream. So it wouldn't be on the channel. It would just be something that we could do that way, and maybe just kind of have a chat and and talk about nerdy stuff in person. So there's always ideas and fun stuff that we can do, and takes us to the next level, right? All right, guys. Well, I am ready to get this started. I'm ready to watch this episode. So here we are with Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 6, Deal or No Deal. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and watch this together. 3, 2, 1, go. Did
you see what Mark said?
No, I did not. Nice. Yes, Mark, we can talk about that. That'd be fun. Mistakes are valuable lessons often learned too late.
Crossroads. After leaving the Jedi Order, Ahsoka Tano finds herself far away from the life she once knew. Here in the underworld of Coruscant, she meets Trace Martez, an aspiring pilot, and her older sister Rafa, a streetwise gambler with lofty aspirations. In their short time together, Ahsoka realizes not everyone sees the Jedi as heroes, a lesson she only recently learned herself.
Worked on starships before. That must have been some academy you went to topside.
Yeah, the best.
What was it called?
None of your business.
Skywalker Academy.
Skywalker. Never heard of it. But what do I know living down here? I never really heard of any academy. Not like I was ever gonna attend one.
Why not?
First, there aren't any academies down here. Second, if there was, I couldn't afford it. I mean, look around. This is it. Rafa and I inherited this hangar after our parents split. And the shop Rafa owns, she wanted gambling so she could use it as a front for her schemes.
Where'd you get the ship?
This? This is me. Trash. Its name is Trash.
Very funny.
So...
And we're back.
Once you're done, where are you headed?
I don't know.
Keep an eye on that. Just keep going.
That's why you should stick around.
I figured I'd be on my own for a bit.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like the best idea. I mean, you crashed here on that piece of junk. What if you didn't crash on my landing platform? Things could have gotten messy for you.
Believe me, things couldn't be a bigger mess for me than they already are.
So you'll stay a little while longer at least. That way we can test the Silver Angel.
All right. As long as Rafa doesn't mind.
As long as Rafa doesn't mind what?
Ahsoka's gonna be staying on for a bit.
You got any skills?
Only useful ones.
We'll
Chop me
find
down
out
to the
soon
lightsaber.
enough.
What's up?
Look, I wouldn't ask you to do this, but I'm in a tough spot. I hired a starship and crew for a job.
You what? You were gonna leave me here?
No, I was gonna do a job, make us some money, and be back. But then the pilot backed out and took his ship with him, and
I don't know what's worse, that you were gonna do this, or that you hired a pilot other than me to do it with.
I don't
well,
trust her.
now I need you.
Only as a backup.
What's the job?
I'll tell you once we're underway.
I still haven't agreed to it.
Trace, please. I need your help with this.
You mean you need the best pilot around and the fastest ship you know?
Yes, to both of those. Who looks out for you, huh?
You do, Rafa.
That's right. Remember, we can't count on anyone.
So we count on ourselves. And maybe Ahsoka.
Maybe.
I don't like
Come on, I want to get going. Go warm the engines up.
Uh-oh.
You show up out of nowhere, suddenly you and my sister are inseparable? What are you after?
Excuse me?
Come on. Everyone plays an angle. I don't mind, except when it involves Trace. So tell me, what are you after? Hamekbe? Her ship?
I don't have an angle. Unless maybe to keep you both out of trouble.
You ever thought you might be the trouble she needs to stay away from?
Ahsoka, Rafa, welcome aboard the Silver Angel.
The Silver Angel? You should rethink that.
Mark confuses
That's
him.
what I told her. Just strap in.
Right, Mark? Right. That's a good point, Caleb.
Can I read that as like Jar Jar?
They're an interesting combination, for sure. It's the Snicker snack bar.
Trace, where are you going?
I'm just trying to get into this lane.
That's a military lane. You can't go there. That's a restricted area.
We're being hailed.
Don't answer that.
We have to answer that.
No, we don't.
Trace, just get us out of here.
Don't do anything that makes us look suspicious.
We already look suspicious.
Fly higher!
Stop telling me what to do.
Pull up. Pull up.
Stop telling me what to do.
Don't answer that.
This is the Silver Angel. What can I do for you?
Have you lost your mind? This is military airspace. Civilian transports are not authorized to be in this sector. I'll have your star pilot license for this.
License? Do I need one of those?
Sorry. So sorry. It won't happen again. Just teaching my younger sister to fly.
Oh, you're teaching me to fly. That's a laugh.
Who is this? What's your license number?
Just get in the transport lane and fly.
Who was on board that transport? Oh, just some rookie pilots, apparently on their first maneuvers. I was just about to send a detachment to arrest them.
Boy, that's Return of the Jedi.
Should I send a detachment, General?
Man.
Mark says they should have a whole
No,
series that
it's
is
not
just
right.
based on the traffic conditions of Coruscant.
That was a cool Return of the Jedi thing. What was it?
Mark says they
You
should
still
just
haven't
have a
told
whole
us where
series
we're
that is
going.
based on the traffic conditions of Coruscant.
Oh yeah, like how do those lanes
Surprises,
work?
I see.
Really? How'd you manage that?
This is what I was working towards. Take us out, Captain.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Darth Maul coming back too.
This is exciting. I've never been to hyperspace before.
What? What have you been flying?
Oh, mainly speeders, you know? Maintenance vehicles, whatever I could get my hands on.
See where I tried to hire a different pilot? Trace's flying is more of a dream than a reality.
What did you say?
I said the ship flies like a dream.
Yeah, a bad one.
What? Oh. I left the air brakes on. That could have been bad.
As long as Cannon. I can trust him.
Castle.
I was
You're
just about,
taking us to Kessel?
I just thought that.
I'm taking us to fortune and glory.
I've heard pilots talk about this place. It's legendary. Yeah, it's legendary for its corruption. Rafa, what are we doing here?
Picking up medicine.
Mark says they need air brakes in space where there is no air.
Right? They're doing a spice run. She just said we're picking up medicine. It means they're going to get spice, which is drugs.
Mark says it's the ship that made the Kessel run in 7 seasons.
This place is beautiful.
Took just a little bit longer.
See, Ahsoka, there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, there is if you're doing drugs.
Space run is not space isn't where we're
Which one of you is Rafa Martez?
I am.
I'm Kinash Locke, King Yoruba's major domo. We've been expecting you. We've prepared a banquet to show his thanks for your services.
Lead the way, sir. Welcome to the big time.
Mark says this isn't your mother's star.
I don't know that I want to eat anything with anus in it.
And I eat.
It'll always be anus to me.
So, when is the king showing?
He leaves matters like this to me. However, if you show yourself to be dependable, you will have the opportunity to meet His Royal Highness.
We won't disappoint.
I've got one of the fastest ships around.
Caleb says I love how there's just one drug in the Star Wars universe and it's called spice.
What kind
Right?
of
I
medicine
always
are we
they
transporting?
season their food
The
within Star Wars.
essence.
Now hold on, that's not true because there's also death sticks.
You will
And
deliver
that's
3
I don't think death
containers
sticks are
of
spice.
unrefined spice. Upon satisfactory delivery, you will be awarded a full
He says
shipment
that's
and
the
a
reason why they
contract to
season their food
transport
with
for us on a continual basis.
Cocaine.
May as well get that contract ready.
Because we've got the fastest ship around.
They know Trace.
Food better?
We're
Brag.
working for a king. Many things can be made out of spice,
Yoda's
and they're not all good.
Yoda's like, Luke, come, good food. Meth in this as it is.
I'm not
Meth,
sure
yes.
what you mean.
Good meth.
In this time of war, our spice is refined into a medicine that saves people across the galaxy.
Mark says they
The
season the
Yoruba family
cocaine.
of
It's
Kessel
just a
has
problem with the
always been a
universal
promoter
translator.
of
They got
health
those two
and
words mixed up.
happiness across the stars. Now come, Ms. Martez. Let us get the spice into this very fast ship.
Running spice is dangerous. The transport ships get attacked.
She
Often.
doesn't even like
Yeah,
post off her
by
face.
pirates looking
She's,
for a
like,
quick
trying to
score.
touch it.
But they always go after the bigger Kessel transport ships, obvious targets. That's why the king hired us. We don't fit the description of your normal transport.
But we're leaving Kessel. It's not hard to figure out what we might be here for.
You know a lot about Kessel for a mechanic.
Kanye says may the
I've heard
spice
the
be
stories.
in you always.
Then you better hope the
Yeah,
pilot
right.
of the Silver Angel is as good as she says she is.
Hopefully not if you have to pee clean.
I'm starting to see why Rafa didn't originally hire you for this job.
Imagine that.
It's dangerous.
Detecting a lot of
No, I'm
paprika
serious.
in
Running
this blood-
spice is
in
no
this
simple
urine test.
transport mission. Rafa looks out for me. Sure, I wasn't her first choice for this job, but she wouldn't have asked me to do it if she didn't believe I could. How many times has Rafa done a job like this? I don't
Human.
think she ever has. So how can she possibly know what we're up against? Hey, there's a first time for everything. We're coming up on the mining zone. Now this looks like the Kessel from the stories.
Spice mining has made the people of Kessel wealthy. There's always a price to be paid.
There's a platform now.
It's called People in Slavery in Caves. Another snack hole.
Look at all those droids.
The King's Spice Fields must have thousands of them. Trace, those are not droids. They're people.
And where are their masks? They're just getting high. It's like they don't even know they're enslaved. So they're just all high. People are volunteering to go there. Hey, you got any more of them Kessel jobs?
Must
I'll
be
take some of them
workers.
Kessel
I
jobs.
think the term is slaves.
Can't be. An operation this large? The Republic wouldn't stand for it. They'd shut the place down.
Yeah, you'd think they would.
Sorry, that alien looks good.
Ahsoka, let's go make sure they secure the bins.
I'm not sure if I like her or not.
You never like any of my friends.
She's not family, Trace. Remember that.
I'll keep an eye on her. You just do your job.
Kid, I got us a job. The rest is up to you. Now let's get this spice where it belongs.
No, in little baggies up their butts. To get over the border.
Next stop, Obadiah, right?
Obadiah indeed.
What spice?
Mark Krem better have my money waiting.
Marg Krim? The Pike crime boss?
Why am I not surprised you know about the Pikes? As a matter of fact, how do you know about the Pikes?
I know you can't make a deal with them.
already did. Trace, how does she know so much? How do you know so
I'm
much?
sure it's on the
I
up and
pay
up.
attention
you know.
to the world around me. Like the fact that the Pikes are gangsters. Gangsters? What, like Pintu back on Coruscant? No. Much worse. Galactically worse. They'll take your ship, your life, everything. My ship?
Well, I took a job, Ahsoka. We need all the credits we can get.
This is bad, Trace. Rafa, what are they gonna do to my ship?
Nothing. See? This is why I didn't want you for this job.
I wouldn't bring that up right now if I were you. Why not make the best of a bad situation and deliver the spice to someplace that can use it for medicine? No one is
Because
taking
that
my
doesn't
ship.
pay. And Trace and I have a lot of people on Coruscant waiting for money we owe them.
No, you owe them, not her.
Sisters take care of each other. We can't pay off debt with your
No
morality.
one is taking my ship. Think of all the good you could do if we deliver the spice to someplace else instead of the Pikes.
Think of all the good you can do by helping us finish this job.
Said no one is taking my ship.
Pulled a Han Solo.
What was that? Oh no.
What did you do? I dumped the spice. You did what? Problem solved. Neither one of you gets your way, and I keep my ship. You're welcome.
Nope, 'cause
Of
now they're
all
coming
the
after
choices
you.
you could make, that is literally the worst one.
I can't believe this, but I agree with her. What? The spice gave us options. Now,
Now we have a deal to deliver spice to an intergalactic crime syndicate and no spice to deliver.
but I thought delivering spice to gangsters was a bad thing.
Because you're
It
stupid.
is, but you have to pay them somehow. Right now, we owe the Pikes. Then how is turning the spice into medicine gonna solve anything? Well, that was more of an ethical debate. I hadn't figured out how to solve the Pike problem yet.
Oh, you two are just a pair, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, I can think of one way to pay off the Pikes, and I'm standing in it.
No one is touching my ship.
You should have thought of that before you dumped 30,000 credits worth of spice into space.
Stop it, both of you. I said I didn't have it figured out yet. Oh, but you do
That's
now?
how Darth Maul gets involved.
We'll
He's
find
part of
out.
the crime syndicate. They're going there anyways?
Okay. Do we need to go over it again?
Nope, because no matter how many times we go over it, I can tell you, it's not going to work.
Why?
Because it's a bad plan.
It is a pretty bad plan.
I'm sorry. Did either of you have a better one? Well then, sounds like my plan is the best one we got.
That's not really addressing whether or not it's gonna work.
Don't worry, I've got a trick or two that you don't know about.
Care to share?
No. Not yet, at least.
What is she gonna do? Just show up and be like, "Hey, can you make it?" Sorry, we don't have the spice. This guy named Han Solo took it.
I assume that you had no trouble transporting the spice from Kessel?
Not at all. This is one of the smoothest jobs I've ever had.
Good. If anything had happened, it would have been very unfortunate for you. Here is your payment. Now, let us take a look at that cargo.
You don't trust me? You hired me.
I don't trust anyone who isn't a Pike.
You want to pay us our credits and send us on our way.
Here are your credits. Now go on your way.
I take it back. I'm liking this plan.
This is highly irregular. I am going to make sure everything sorts out to our liking.
Sure.
Thanks for everything. We'll hopefully see you soon.
Fire up the ship.
Just a moment. I need the code to unlock the bid.
I think we transmitted that to you already. Let's get out of here, Trace.
Where is the spice?
What? I don't believe it. Castle must have double-crossed you. Well, that's really unfortunate.
I want patrol ships to cut them off. Engage the tractor beam!
You better get us out of here now.
How fast this ship is.
They won't be able to keep up.
What was that?
That is a tractor beam, Rafa.
Just so you know, when they interrogate me, I'm blaming the whole thing on you.
Between the three of us, there's plenty of blame to go around.
Oh, come on! Actually drug us into that one. was interesting. That was a good episode, though. I actually really enjoyed that episode.
That's good.
I enjoyed the interaction there with everybody. I see though how it's leading up to Darth Maul, for sure.
Mark says 22 minutes flies by when you're having fun.
Right? Like it actually did. It went by pretty quick, and I was really thinking that it didn't seem like the show should be over that quick, but it was. This is not the spice you're looking for. Excuse me. So, that, what did you think, Tiff?
I thought it was a really good episode. I liked the callback of Anakin pretty much on the ship, and it's like they could, you know, feel each other in the Force kind of thing, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that a lot. That was a really cool callback.
Mark says definitely better than last week.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, and I guess you got to have those episodes. Here, let me bring this over here. Whoa. You got to have those episodes that, you know, set stuff up so that you can then. Oh, looks like we're in Batman. We're like tilted like that. Let me get this. It's gonna bug me.
Caleb says I didn't like it. It felt really uneventful.
Really? Oh man.
Mark said not the greatest, but at least they went to space. LOL.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of really enjoy this. I like, because like I said, I like the callback. I like the tension. The tension was good between Ahsoka and what was her name, Rafa or Rafi?
Wafa.
What was it?
Wafa.
Wafa. I like that tension actually. I liked the callback to
Darth
Kessel.
said I thought it was boring as well.
Really? I liked. Man, I
Darth
loved.
said for me that was my least favorite episode so far.
Wow, really? I'm really surprised because I'll be honest with you, I don't really care for the sisters that much. But I loved all the callbacks to Star Wars. I mean, to what we know of Star Wars. I mean, I loved that they went to Kessel. You had the spice running. You had her dumping the spice. You had the callback to Return of the Jedi when they flew past Anakin's ship. I mean, it was, and he's talking and everything. You had those callbacks. You had Ahsoka basically using the Force to try to get him out of it, and then the ending. I felt that there was some nice tension in it, and that it kind of built up in a nice way. I'm kind of surprised that you guys didn't like this one. Because usually I would be like, because last week I didn't like last week's at all. I thought it was very lackluster for bringing Ahsoka back, that was her first episode, and that was like, okay, whatever. But see, it's funny because right before they flew past Anakin's ship, I was sitting there thinking, like, if she's just down there, like, wouldn't Anakin be able to sense her still? You know what I mean? Like, she's still on Coruscant. Yeah, I really dug this episode. Like I said, I liked all the callbacks. I liked the flow of it. It's not my favorite episode, but it's definitely not my least favorite. Last week was probably one of my least favorite.
Darth said the part with Anakin was definitely the best part of the episode.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that, but like I said, I liked all the stuff about Kessel too, with the spice angle of it. So I thought that was very interesting, and kind of the going back and forth, you know, over what they were doing, and Wafa trying to keep it hidden, you know, and secret that they were running spice basically. And you know, the fact that, like, I don't think they've really gotten into the fact that spice could be used medically. I think that's a new thing. I don't think I've ever heard that spice could be used medically, because I think all I've ever heard of spice ever being used for is a drug in Star Wars.
But what kind of drugs, you know, can make up insulin, and like what kind of regular drugs can make up things in the world?
Yeah, but I don't think that I've ever heard it referred to as being something. I mean, unless I just forgot. But I don't think I've ever heard it referred to as being something that could be used medically to treat people, like to actually help people, you know, unless it's a pain reliever or whatever, I guess, in Star Wars, you know. I mean, because you got, like, Vicodin and stuff like that are considered drugs, but, you know.
Pain is a pain reliever? Forgetter.
No, but I mean, there are drugs though that. Well, I mean, just look at right now. Like half the world's going to legalize pot. So.
Mark says, but you need a prescription and have to go to the local spice dispensary. It's good for glaucoma. And Tanya says
They got spice edibles. That's how they learned what spice really was. It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's where we got spices from.
Tanya says bad news. The Flash on the CW is canceled to I think April 14th.
I have to look that up. That's interesting.
Mark says, what is your all-time least favorite? Boba trying to murder Mace Windu.
My least favorite episode of Clone Wars.
Caleb says it's always been said to be for recreational use. Recreational spice?
I'm just imagining all
Old
like
Spice commercials?
no, I'm imagining like how dispensaries always have like a green cross to show that they're a dispensary. I'm just like I don't know what
Red powder?
I don't know what would the symbol be for a spice dispensary. Man, I don't know what my least favorite Clone Wars episode. I mean, probably actually, if I have to nail it down to just my absolute least favorite, it's the beginning. The beginning of Clone Wars was just so awful. I'm looking at the description right now of the beginning where it says, "As the Clone Wars sweep through the galaxy, Anakin Skywalker and his new Padawan learner Ahsoka Tano plunge into a dangerous mission to rescue the kidnapped son of crime lord Jabba the Hutt." That was so bad. That whole thing was so bad. It was in the theater, and I took Landon to see it when he was like 5. Oh wait, no, hold on. Was it 2007? No, he was 2. Whoa, hey, hello. What's going on?
Just making out with you.
Hi, how you doing? Oh, you love me? Oh, I think you love me. Okay.
Your tail
That's my nose. That's my nose. That's my ear. That's my ear. That's my nose. That's my face. Hello. Well,
Darth says, how about the Clone Wars movie with Stinky, a.k.a. Baby Jabba?
Well, that's what I was talking about. It was just so bad. It was just horribly done. The animation was bad. The story was
Caleb
bad.
said a green Jedi symbol.
A green Jedi symbol. Nice. Yeah, everything about that was just bad.
Mark said, yeah, that wasn't so great. Although, at least it provided the beginning of something that has provided a lot of good stories.
Yes, I agree with that.
Tanya said, did you think after the Phantom Menace, Darth Maul was dead, or did you think he was alive?
I think all of us thought he was dead until he showed back up.
He was cut in half. We're like, can't come back from that.
And I think a lot of us, I think, assumed that he was dead just because you slice somebody in half, like you said. You figure they're gone. But I think a lot of us though were glad when they brought Darth Maul back, just because Darth Maul was a very unrealized character in the Phantom Menace. I mean, imagine if that was all we had of Darth Maul, especially now with all the things that we've gotten from Darth Maul and his importance in the Star Wars universe and everything. If we had never, my hair a little poofy.
One spot that's poofed.
I'm gonna have to have you straightened again so I can go back to long hair Dinesh. I like long hair Dinesh. No, with Darth Maul, coming back, I think we've gotten a lot of great stories out of that, and really rediscovered a character that we really wanted more from. That's what I'm hoping that they're able to do with Boba Fett. Because I'll be honest with you, I haven't really liked young Boba Fett stories. I've been very disappointed in you. Boba Fett is one of my favorite characters, and I don't like watching young Boba Fett. Young Boba Fett just ticks me off.
Worse than young Vader?
It's about on par, because they've made young Boba Fett where he's just ticked off all the time, and he's just always got they're especially in Clone Wars, it's like they way overdid it, where he's just like he's furrowing his brow all the time. He's just mad at everybody and angry, and I get it. His dad's head was cut off by Mace Windu, so I would expect that he'd want to go after Mace Windu, but I don't like his stories. I don't like what they've made Boba Fett and trying to flesh out his story. I don't think that we needed. I don't think we need back to childhood, stories on Darth Vader and Boba Fett on some of our best villains. Why do we need to know what they were like when they were 10 years old? I don't get that. I don't need it. I just don't need it. I don't need to know what, the Joker was doing at 10 years old. I hope that that's a movie that never gets made and that we never see that, And if George Lucas did it, he would have somehow bumped into, Bruce Wayne or Thomas Wayne, when he was 10 and, whatever. I just don't think we need it.
Darth says the opening of the movie was good, then it went bad. Mark says cut in half, so I think I probably assumed he was dead. It sure seemed pretty final at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya said, how do dogs and humans...
How dogs and humans kiss hardcore.
Sorry, my glasses
She loves
are
me.
shining up.
Yeah, she loves me. If you think she's kissing me, you should see Wookiee.
He full on makes out with you.
He just full on just gives me a tongue bath all over my face.
Caleb says the movie was terrible. It makes the episode where Jar Jar gets a love interest look good. It was established in Legends comics pretty early on that Maul survived long before the Clone Wars. There was a Legends comic where Maul fights Vader. And then Darth said, I can understand why Boba's not happy. So his father's head got cut off as a child. Tanya said, I haven't watched The Mandalorian. Do you think Boba Fett is the main bounty hunter in The Mandalorian? And then Caleb says, imagine if episode 1 started with Attack of the Clones. Our very first introduction of Anakin is in the elevator with Obi-Wan.
I think that would have been perfect. That would have been awesome. I've always said it that episode 2 should have been episode 1.
And Mark said, yeah, I never watched or read any Legend stuff, so I was out of the loop.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you, Boba Fett is not the Mandalorian. In The Mandalorian, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian yet, that's not a spoiler. He's not in it.
Darth said you need to watch The Mandalorian, Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya, especially if you've got Disney Plus and you were watching this along with us.
That's your homework.
Yeah, you need to watch The Mandalorian because The Mandalorian is awesome. If you like Star Wars at all, you need to watch The Mandalorian.
It's only 9 o'clock. She can binge the whole thing.
Yeah. What, it's 8 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. How many episodes is it?
I don't remember.
Is it 8 or 12?
Not enough.
It wasn't enough. No, sure wasn't enough. I think it was only 8 though. But
Tasty said Din Djarin an 8.
Din Djarin. Oh yeah. His name is Din Djarin. Yeah. I don't know why I had a brain fart there for a second.
Mark said it's the mandatory Mandalorian.
Well, and 2, they've changed Boba Fett's story, so he's not technically a Mandalorian anymore because of the way that they made him now a clone. And Jango Fett was never a Mandalorian; he just had the armor. And back in Legends, Boba Fett had many backstories. That was the cool thing about Boba Fett was he was very mysterious. We didn't
have layers.
He did. He had layers. Even though we didn't know a lot about him in the comics and in the things that they set up before, there were like 3 different possible characters. I think it was that he could have been. Some people thought he was Jodo Cast. I can't remember the other 2, but it turned out he wasn't Jodo Cast. Jodo Cast was a different character, but he was a Mandalorian. There was a actual Mandalorian clan called Fett, and that he was a part of, and they totally did away with all of that. So, if he's not as interesting anymore, it's not the fault of the people who had written stories for him before, because George Lucas just kind of threw all that out the door. Because, George, I don't think ever really cared for Boba Fett anyways. George, I've seen interviews with George and read articles with George where he talked about Boba Fett, and he's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why everybody likes Boba Fett. Like, he's a throwaway character. It's just kind of in there. Yeah, he looks kind of cool, but that's it. And I don't understand why everybody loves him. If people love a character...
I like it, Mark.
If people love a character that you created, why wouldn't you, embrace that? Why would you fight that? I don't understand that about George Lucas. I love George Lucas, by the way. He's created a
You
world.
said George Lucas like 10 times.
George Lucas. I get a nickel for every time I say George Lucas. So
Say it fast enough, you sound like you're drunk.
George Lucas. Look, Lucas doesn't know what he's talking about. He messed up Boba Fett, and I'm not happy about it. But no, seriously, why wouldn't you embrace somebody loving a character that you created? Even if you didn't put a lot into that character.
Or it wasn't your favorite.
Yeah, even if it's not your favorite character that you created a character, he's out there in the universe that you've created, and people identify with this character and like this character. Why wouldn't you try to craft something to make that character more interesting, to give that character another layer, instead of just kind of making that character like this just bland, oh, well, he was just a clone. Oh, but he was a special clone because his dad was so much cooler. His dad, Jango Fett.
Technically, he would be helmet special.
I don't understand then George Lucas tries to go back and create this other character, Jango Fett, and it's essentially the exact same character. I mean, they even made it so that he's a clone of Jango Fett. You know, I don't know. I think in George's mind, I think that he was making it more interesting, but unfortunately, I don't think it does, for me.
Wookiee had his bone back there, and she found it, because he's not a good hider.
Wookiee tries to hide his bones on Harley.
And she found it.
And Harley just goes around and goes, yeah, what's this?
Caleb says, and the episode 2 should have been the Mandalore arc for Clone Wars, and then episode 3 is the same. Tanya says the only episode I watched was when the Darksaber got on the big screen.
Oh my goodness.
Caleb says episode 2 have Maul infiltrating Mandalore, set up Sidious better in the background, etc. Mark said, oh, that can be my Star Wars name, the Markalorian.
There you go. I like it. The Markalorian. That's sweet.
Tanya says, I think he was smoking some death sticks. And Caleb says, because George is a narcissist, not personally wise, but artist wise.
Yes.
He does not listen to anyone. It's his way or the highway.
Yep. And you can see it. I'll tell you what, I remember the day that I realized that about George Lucas. I was watching episode 1. I was watching the special features of episode 1. It was either episode 1 or episode 2. Might have been episode 2 because I think Dexter Jettster was in it, but they may have created that character more
Dexter
before.
Jettster?
Dexter Jettster. He's the big guy.
That's another thing that sounds wrong. Dexter Jettster.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Dexter Jettster. He's the owner of the diner in episode 2. I actually like him. He's a funny guy. But the thing is like George is going through, like they created all these little clay models.
Oh, it stopped. It was doing the little thingy.
They created all these little clay models, you know, of potential characters, designs and stuff. And George just kind of walks through and he's just like, yeah, I don't care about this one. I kind of like this one. And everybody's just, you know, standing there like, oh my gosh, it's George Lucas and I'm working on a Star Wars movie. And you could tell everybody was just yes-manning him, you know, like nobody challenged him at all with the prequels. Like nobody gave him any kind of pushback, and he financed the whole trilogy himself. And 20th Century Fox had to bid to have the right to actually distribute the movies. They didn't make the movies, so they didn't have any skin in the game. They didn't have any money in the game except for paying him to distribute it. I know it takes a lot, and you got to have a lot of respect to get to that point, so I can't take that away from him. But like you said, the guy's very, very smart. He created a world that we all love and are talking about 40-some-odd years later. But it's unfortunate that, yeah, I think he's very narcissistic in some ways. And to go back and be changing your movies years later and stuff, when George used to literally lobby against what he's doing now, changing his movies and destroying the originals. How do you get there? How do you go from literally lobbying the government to preserve old movies because he had such a love for film to the point where it's like, oh, this is my movie, so I'm going to change it and do whatever I want to with it. The fans don't own it, and I get that we don't own it, but it makes me sad that like I have to jump through hoops now to be able to just get a regular version, and I'm still trying to get a regular version of the original trilogy so that my kids can watch it the way that I watched it, without all the additions and without all the things, and they can hear the original Yub Nub song at the end of Return of the Jedi, and actually see what's his name, the original guy who played Anakin in the Force Ghost. His last name's Shaw. It's not Bernard Shaw, but I can't remember what his name is. But you know, like, we shouldn't have to jump through all those hoops to just be able to watch the originals. You know, I get it if he wants to change it and make new ones available. Great, because there's some changes that I like in the special editions. But you shouldn't have taken away. He shouldn't have taken away the originals from us.
Mark says that's why I stopped hanging out with him. He kept insisting that hard shell tacos weren't authentic. Kept throwing out my food from the pantry. Tanya said,
I like you, Mark.
Tanya said, would you watch Star Wars Episode 7 if Rey was not in it and Luke or Boba Fett was the main character?
I'd watch Star Wars no matter what. So, I mean, I've learned to love Rey now, but I mean, if Luke were the main character, it wouldn't have bothered me. I know for a lot of people, they would have loved if that was the case. Boba Fett, I don't know. I don't know why he would be the main character in a movie, but you know, in like Episode 7, for example. But you know, it's Star Wars, so yeah, I'd watch it.
And then Mark said, and he never gives me credit for convincing him to change the name from Star Party. Originally, the whole thing was just going to be a long cantina scene.
Where everybody just does spice and death sticks and gets crazy with it.
And then Isaac.
It's like what? Remember, like what was it in the '60s? Hugh Hefner had his own TV program called the Playboy Club or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like on regular television and stuff, and he'd just come on and it was like the bachelor lifestyle and stuff, you know, and living the Playboy life and whatever. And like, you know, there'd be jazz music playing and there'd be all these celebrities and stuff that'd be hanging out, you know, with him and stuff, and they'd kind of present this whole. Just imagining that as Mark's idea for Star Wars, just like the cantina, you know.
And then Isaac popped in and said, The Flash will be every other week until May 12th, and
Yes.
then a break until they finish filming the season.
That's right. I believe.
And then Mark said, thanks, Isaac was wondering about that.
Yep.
Caleb said, and people don't seem to realize...
Well, that was Isaac that said that? Yeah. Because I was just going to say that Isaac said that to us. So that was
No, that's Logan. Caleb said, and people don't seem to realize the episode 4 that was in theaters was not George's vision. His wife went in behind George's back and edited the film into a different story structure. And then Caleb says George never got over it. He cites it as the start of the end of their marriage. Mark said, I would watch Star Wars.
She did the deep fake thing. She wore a beard and a gray wig. Or he didn't have gray back then, did he? She still wore a gray wig. It didn't matter. She looked like George today, and they didn't even question it. And with the gobbly thing on the gobbly thing that's under. He's got a waddle neck. Yeah, he's got a waddle neck. George does. He's got that. He's got
George,
that. I was worried when I lost all my weight that I was going to get that, but fortunately I have.
There's exercises you can do to strengthen it.
George needed to be doing those.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Because he gained weight and he got it.
Well, the white-haired George reminds me of our guitar player.
Yes.
Very much.
Yes, and our old music director at our church looked a lot like John Williams too.
Mark says, I would watch Star Wars if the whole thing was made of cottage cheese and projected on the side of a horse.
I want to be at that viewing party.
Mark said, not that it would be good, but I'd still watch it.
There you go. I would love to be at that viewing party, by the way. That'd be awesome.
And then Shadow Kritais says, what's up?
Shadow
I see, I'm not the only one getting stuck on that.
Critias? What's up, Shadow? Yeah, I'd watch that. I'd pay a nickel to watch that.
A nickel?
A nickel. You know, you got to feed the horse something.
Made of cottage cheese and projected on the side of a horse.
I guess you could feed the horse the cottage cheese when you're all done. I just couldn't eat it because it would hurt my tooth. Callbacks, people. That's what that is. That's a callback to earlier in the live stream. You like that? If you were here from the beginning. That's it. But Tiffany, what would you give this episode on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, honestly, I mean, compared to like what everyone else not liking this episode, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I thought it was good. It moved the story along. I didn't really like the sisters as much last episode either, but I felt like, sitting there watching it, I'm like, okay, I don't like the older sister, and then all of a sudden it's like it flipped the script, and I'm like, I trust her a little bit more. She's a little flighty, and she's a loose cannon. And then, of course, I think that, and I got rid of the spice. Hello? So it was just one of those things where I don't know. I thought it was 8 out of 10, but that's me on a stream where nobody really liked the episode.
I thought so too. I thought that it was an 8 out of 10 as well. I did not like last week's episode. I thought last week's episode did not move around very well. And I'm concerned because we're at episode 6, so we're halfway through the season now. We're exactly halfway through the season. And I don't know how much progression we've made in the story, but because it's got to end leading right up into Revenge of the Sith, so we'll have to see.
Mark said, what if it was just 90 minutes of Jabba eating? Worst ASMR ever. Tanya says, why did they make Obi-Wan the main character and not a side character? Because the Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one, not Obi-Boy.
Well, I think because Obi-Wan is a character that everybody wanted to see fleshed out, and I think the Obi-Wan is the leader in that story. He's which is interesting too, though, because
he's the Jedi.
Because here's something interesting. Here's something interesting. What if they had not made Obi-Wan to be like a dad figure to Anakin, like he was? They said that they were brothers or whatever, but really, Obi-Wan was more like a dad to Anakin.
That's why he was so upset when he turned. He was like, "You were the chosen one.
Exactly.
You were my brother."
Exactly. But they didn't have really a brother-like thing. Anakin, even as he got older, was more.
Well, I think
so much younger.
You were my brother, Anakin. It was more of like a brotherhood.
The brotherhood thing. But the thing is what if Anakin had been the same age as Obi-Wan, and they played it that they were just good friends, right? I think that would have played a whole lot better, because that's kind of what we were led to believe. Really, was about Vader, was that he was this old man, just like Obi-Wan was, and in episode 4 or whatever. What if they had made them the same age, and instead of making Anakin this little boy for Obi-Wan to lead and to instruct, what if they had done that better?
Caleb said there's a whole documentary about it. Apparently the test screening they did of A New Hope did not go well, so George's wife went in a remix in the editing room and did another screening. Tanya said, why? And then Mark said maybe they're trying to lower everyone's expectations because the next several episodes are obnoxiously amazing. Hashtag hopeful. Caleb says that people loved it. Darth said, I think that's why I'm disappointed. They're not really leading into anything exciting. And where have all the Jedi been besides the one episode with Anakin?
Well, okay, so slow down. Slow down. Don't read all the comments because we needed to talk about some stuff here. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't seem like we're leading to somewhere. That's the thing, is we're halfway through the season, and like both kind of Mark and Darth Tasty kind of both talk about, like, the episodes are just kind of there. They're not staying.
Mark Tasty.
Mark Tasty. They're not. It doesn't feel like the whole season is leading somewhere. It just feels like it's a bunch of random stuff. That was my problem with the Clone Wars in general. Was that the show? This actually kind of fits the show.
Yahtzee. It's like.
Yeah, this kind of fits the show's motif, even when it was on the air. Is that it's just like random little stories here and there from the Clone Wars, which is fine if you're looking at it as a war story, because that's what it was meant to be. Like Caleb talked about at the beginning of the episode, where it's got the little guy that says, like, oh, this happened last week, and it's like war propaganda kind of stuff. And so
last time in the Hall of Justice.
Right. So from that angle, I like that, because it just kind of fills you in, and it's these little stories from the battlefield, right?
Kids and bits.
But I don't think that works as an episodic TV show where you're looking for, like, a direction. something overall that keeps you coming back to it week by week. And I think that that's what we're missing with this season is there's not a cohesive story that it's leading us. It's like the first four episodes was an arc about, you know, these new guys that they brought in, and I liked them. The Bad Batch, I liked the Bad Batch, but how is the Bad Batch connected? You know what I mean? Are they going to bring them back at the end of the season maybe to fight Darth Maul with everybody? You know?
Shadow has an idea about that. That's
Okay.
what I was about to read. Shadow said, if y'all didn't know that this season is about Rex and Ahsoka, because the Bad Batch arc is for Rex. The 1313 arc is for Ahsoka, and 4 more episodes, Siege of Mandalore arc for both of them.
Okay.
They just had small cameos.
Okay.
Oh, they just had small cameos, as in the Jedi from Darth. And then Mark said maybe the last 4 episodes are just senators debating the historical significance of the trade embargo of Naboo. Mark said full circle. And then Darth...
I'd still watch it on the side of a horse. But
then Darth said, I did just remember that Ahsoka, it's supposed to battle Maul,
Yep.
which would make the whole Pike Syndicate thing make sense.
Yes, and that's where I see that they're leading to it. That's why I like this episode, because it's got to get us there, right? So I'm fine with that. It's got to get us there. I just don't know.
It was a filler episode for everyone else, but for you and me,
I
apparently you
don't.
liked the push.
I think that they probably could have done these last 2 episodes in 1 episode. Did we need a whole episode for Ahsoka to meet what's her name, Trace and what was it, Wafa? Wafa. Did we need a whole episode for them to meet and you know and do that whole thing for them to get on this thing? No, I think they could have met, become kind of friends, and then been like, hey, you want to go off on this adventure
They
with
could
us?
have put the 2 episodes together.
Yeah,
and make
you want to
one
go
if
off
they
on this
really wanted
adventure
to.
with us, and then it kind of starts to lead into that. I think that would have been better. Yeah. Somebody said something. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't really like about the Clone Wars style of storytelling is that it's like it acts like it forgets that other characters exist for like 4 or 5 episodes. Like it literally centers in just on the people in this story, and it totally forgets. Hey, there's Anakin. This is the first time I've ever seen really something like this episode focused just on Ahsoka and her meeting these people and going off on this adventure. Yet they brought Anakin in for a second, right? We really haven't seen much of Anakin this season.
Yeah.
Just little tids and bits here and there. But the thing is like no Obi-Wan, so the show has totally forgotten that Obi-Wan exists until it needs him. Then when the show needs him, Obi-Wan will feature prominently. Same thing about like Rex and the other clones. They'll have these arcs where they'll have like 3 or 4 episodes. They're like they are the main focus, and the whole story is about just those clones, and it totally forgets that everybody else exists. But then when it goes off and tells a story about somebody else, it forgets the clones altogether. So there's no like overlapping story that you see. It's just like boom, 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 boom. We're talking about this. 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 A little bit of this. A little bit of that.
Not so much here or here,
But mostly there.
Okay, Tanya says, I just want him to be a secret Obi-Wan dad to Anakin because why didn't he go with Padme? Why did Qui-Gon Jinn? That's because he knew he was the father, and in episode 2 he would reveal himself and say, I'm your father. Right here.
No, I'm reading it. I'm trying to. Just want him to be a secret. Oh, you just want Obi-Wan to be a secret dad? Well, he's not that much older than him. He'd have to be pretty young.
And then Darth said Maul was in the 7th season trailer.
Yes, he was. So we're
Mark
waiting for
says, I'm guessing that Bad Batch leads into the battle, and these last 2 lead into Ahsoka versus Maul, and all of it takes place on Mandalore with 4-episode battle arc. #maybe. Caleb says, I know some people wouldn't want this, but I want a show simply about prequel era politics, but it's in the style of C-SPAN.
before I even finished reading it, I was thinking of C-SPAN.
Darth said galactic. Galactic C-SPAN. Hello, or LOL.
Hey, here's something for you. Here's a question I'd love to pose for you because I'm actually thinking about doing a video about this. Would you guys want to see, since we know now that this species is in Star Wars and have known since Episode 1, would you want to see an ET story? Not necessarily about ET, but a story about his people, the Brody. They're called Asogians actually because they're from the planet Brody Asogi. Would you want to see them like do a story arc with them? I would love to see ET's people in the Clone Wars. I think that'd be a great callback. Well, there's a lot of talk that it makes sense, and like people used to joke about it until they literally put them in the movie. In Episode 1, there are ETs in the Senate chamber, but you think about it, everything makes sense for that. And I did a video. If you ever look here on the channel, I did a little thing. It was a very short-lived thing, little series called I Want to Know, and I only did a few episodes of it, but it was a thing where people would send me emails, and people did. They sent me emails and messages and stuff, and would just ask me random questions, and I would answer those random questions. And it was some of them were really silly. Like somebody just asked me like apples or
oranges
or bananas. No, it was oranges or bananas.
Because you're like, why would you say apples and oranges?
Yeah, why would you say apples and oranges? But they said like oranges and bananas. And so I did like this whole thing talking about oranges and bananas and like which one would be better for you. Like if you could only have one, whatever. But somebody asked me the question, how far is a galaxy far, far away? Because they knew I was a big Star Wars fan. So I actually looked up and did my homework about exactly how far it could possibly be if you based it on the closest known galaxy to the Earth, since this is in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. And given the fact that E.T. is in Star Wars, his people are in Star Wars, and that E.T. came to Earth. And when he came to Earth, what did he have? He had powers, right? He could lift people. He lifted all the young kids and stuff on their bikes, and they flew through the air. He healed people. He was able. So it's very Jedi-like. His powers were, almost like being able to use the Force. He was able to bring the flower back to life. So there was something there. Also, when he sees the kid dressed up as Yoda on Halloween, he recognizes Yoda's species, and he says, "Home, home, home," and so there's a lot to say there that. So anyways, I did a whole video about that and learned what they were called. They're called Brody. They're from the planet Brody Asogi. They're called Asogians. But would you guys want to see that? Them bring his species, since we never really got a sequel to E.T. Would you guys be accepting of something like that, to be able to see E.T. in the Star Wars? E.T.'s not E.T. himself, because I don't think that the timeline would serve that unless they could live tens of thousands of years. But his species, I'd like to see that personally. I think it'd be a cool story because they already exist in there. They already proved that they exist, so why not? I like the 1313 thing, by the way. Not everybody's getting that 1313 reference. That was actually a video game that was in production. Well, it wasn't in production. It was being made. That talked about the underbelly of the Empire and stuff, with the bounty hunters and stuff like that. It was like the underground world of Coruscant and stuff. And it got canceled. So not everybody understands what that 1313 is, but I love the 1313 references that we're seeing.
After the Galactic C-SPAN, Mark says, haha, that would be awesome. Just a 3-episode story arc filibuster. And then Darth said Spice is going to cure the Alderaan 19 virus.
Oh. How about the Corellia 19?
Caleb said, theory time. The Siege of Mandalore is a time jump from the Ahsoka episodes. In the trailer for seeing Ahsoka with the Mandalorians, She looks significantly older than she does in 1313 arc.
I agree with that.
Tanya said, "Did you know you didn't talk about the Flash episode in your last watch party of the Flash?" And Mark did say E.T. was force sensitive. Shadow says, "Siege of Mandalore is the finale moments between Rex and Ahsoka to face Maul and his forces. Bad Batch arc is not about the new character, it's about Rex to find out and knew Echo was alive." Mark said, "Technically, everything we're looking at from space is long, long ago, since it takes so long for the light to reach us. So yeah."
Yep.
Shadow says, "The 1313 arc is about Ahsoka learning about how does it feel not to be a Jedi in real life, because she's been trained and raised as a Jedi as a kid. She doesn't know anything about life on her own."
Yep.
Tanya said, "Yeah, I'll see that." And then Mark said, "I'd watch it, but only if it was a musical. See in E.T.'s high school."
Set in E.T.
Set.
Yeah, in E.T.'s high school.
Just kidding. Darth said, "What if E.T. and Baby Yoda are from the same planet?"
Elliot. Ouch. Phone home.
Darth says, "What if E.T. and Baby Yoda are from the same planet?" And then Tanya said,
What if they go find his
brain
people?
Overloading.
What if they go find his people and it's E.T. And then the first words out of his mouth are home.
Not child.
No,
So I am Groot, I am child.
I am child. No, I mean the first words when from the Asogian who welcomes him home. Home. I'll be right here.
Mark says, "Now that Enosh sang the Ouch song, I take back my request for a musical." Shadow says, "Plus."
There's not much English in it.
Shadow says, "Plus, if you want me to explain things about the season after the season comes to an end, because I will do it on my Star Wars channel, Zach's Star Killer."
Well, that's cool. I have to check out your channel, man.
Like, yeah.
That's cool.
Sounds like you guys can like hit yourselves with some knowledge, because it sounds like.
Call us. We just stop that. Yeah, that's cool, man.
How dare people call you in quarantine?
I know, right? I like the name too, by the way, Zach Starkiller. That's cool. Well, it could be worse. We could sing.
Mark says, "I need to start a channel. It'll just be me sitting at home on my computer every day. COVID-19 work from home live stream." Tanya says, "But why didn't the Star Wars universe continue with E.T. in the universe?"
Well, it was just a cameo. It was really just a thing that Steven Spielberg had put Star Wars characters in Indiana Jones. There's a couple of different things in the first one in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they're in the pit of snakes.
Watch that with the kids.
We do.
Watch those since we're home now.
Oh, we should do that tonight. When they're in the pit with the snakes and everything, in that room, there's artwork
Why
on.
does it have to be snakes?
There's artwork on the walls that is R2D2 and C3PO, and then also in Temple of Doom, the biggest, just like right out there, is the club that they're in at the beginning that they have to escape from.
Concha Club?
No, not the Kanji Club. The club that.
Tell that to the Concha Club.
Tell that to the Kanji Club. No, the club that they're in at the beginning of the movie that they have to get out of, that they fight their way out of, is called Club Obi-Wan.
In Russia?
No, it's in Asia. I think
that
it's
one.
in Singapore, I think, where they meet the blonde girl, and she's singing, and there's all the
yeah,
gangsters
yeah.
and everything, and then they end up
I remember that one.
fighting their way out. Yeah, so in that, it's called Club Obi-Wan, and as they come outside, it literally says on the front, Obi-Wan. So because of that, George put the...
He also had stuff when they were coming out of the old-fashioned car, like there was something on the sign from the tunnel they were coming out of, too.
I think so.
Oh, there is. I just can't remember what it tied into.
But that was kind of a little thing that, because George and...
Mark said that was in Shanghai.
Oh, in Shanghai. Okay, I couldn't remember where exactly it was. It's been a while since I've watched Temple of Doom.
Tanya says, so Indiana Jones is in the Star Wars universe too?
Actually, little known fact,
then Caleb has a
Indiana
plot
Jones.
twist when you're done.
Indiana Jones is actually just the feverish dreams of Han Solo while he's frozen in carbonite. Little known fact.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at that. I didn't hear what you said.
Didn't laugh at my jokes.
I was laughing at what Mark said because he says, I'm not sure why Short Round was in Shanghai since he spoke Cantonese. Sorry, what did you say?
Stuff happens, man. Stuff happens.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, little known fact is that Indiana Jones is all the feverish dreams of Han Solo while he's frozen in carbonite.
Yes, that would be a good movie.
He dreams
That
of our
should have
world.
been episode 9.
But yeah, but that's just actually there's a
It's like Mario 2. You
There
wake
is-
up and you're like, it's been a dream.
there's a great meme actually that goes on forever that talks about all the people who were both in, because General Veers, who is in Empire, is the main villain of Temple of Doom. And there's a bunch of people who worked on both, who are like a lot of actors who are in both. And so so it's a really funny meme that's really, really long, but it talks about James Earl Jones. It talks about Darth Vader and well, who's it talking
It
about?
sounds like the Wizard of Oz where different people play different people, and you were there. And you
Yeah,
were there.
well, basically it talks about how two guys got together. It's Harrison Ford and it might be James Earl Jones, but I'm trying to remember what James Earl Jones did, if anything. I'd have to find the meme, and I'll have to
Caleb
find the
has
meme.
2 things.
I'll have to find the meme and post it, but it's really funny because it talks about how like they both decided to go back in time because the guy who plays Hitler in Last Crusade was also in Star Wars, and so that like it's all a plot that they go
What
back
Mel
to a
Brooks
galaxy
does.
far, far away to stop the rise of Hitler through Star Wars, and it's really funny because there's like a lot of people connected. Well, it's just like we just watched.
Hitler,
So
aka
this week,
Starkiller.
this week we watched all the Christopher Reeve Superman movies along with Superman Returns last night. So we watched 5 movies, Superman movies this week. And I will say, even after watching them all, even though a lot of it's my childhood, Man of Steel is still the best Superman movie. It's great. But the thing is I love Christopher Reeve. I love what he did, and it's funny to see all the people who were in those, because between Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Superman movies, they were all filmed. Well, Star Wars and Superman especially were filmed during about the same time in England, and so there's all kinds of actors that overlay, which is really funny. Like in Superman 2, where they're supposed to be in the town of Houston, which is it's
Planet Houston.
yeah, well, it's like it's called East Houston, somewhere in Middle America or whatever. And there's this kid. He's supposed to be like this country bumpkin kid, and he's got a British accent. And he's like, "Please, Mister," and she's like, and Ursa's like, "He's the general." And she goes, "Please, Mr. General, please put down my daddy." It's like, where's this kid? Talking about Short Round. It's like, where did this English kid come from? You know, and his dad's name is Jody, and I don't know. It's just funny. But yeah, there's and of course Cliff Clavin is in both Superman and Superman 2, and he's in Empire Strikes Back. So he's that dude. Obviously he's not Cliff Clavin, but he's what's his name? What's his name? John Ratzenberg. John Ratzenberg. He was in Superman. He was in Superman 2. He was in Empire Strikes Back. Did you know he was in Empire Strikes Back? He was in Empire Strikes Back. Did you know he was in Empire Strikes Back?
I do now because you said it 3 times.
Now you know he's in Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, Caleb says, oh, plot twist. What if Yoda's home planet is Earth? Yoda looks like a dinosaur. And do you know what roamed Earth a long time ago?
Lizards.
Caleb says we should do a watch along for old 80s movies. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, E.T., etc.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. We should do that.
Mark says, I'm not sure why... oh, I already read that. Or Tanya says, or what he was doing after episode 6 and before episode 7, meaning Han. Or...
Who?
Tanya says, so Indiana Jones is in the Star Wars universe too? Or what he...
No.
Or is that what he was doing after episode 6 and before
No.
episode 7?
Yeah, no, that's just those are just little in jokes that they put in there.
And then
But the
Tanya-
Star Wars thing has a backstory now. They've actually given ET species a backstory now in Star, because in Star Wars everything is canon or not canon. So everything that's in the movies is canon. So ET's people literally exist in the Star Wars universe.
Tanya said, did you see the movie Spaceballs? It has a lot of Star Wars memes. I saw Spaceballs before I saw Star Wars because my dad raised me on everything Mel Brooks.
I've never seen this Spaceballs movie. What are you talking
We have 3 copies.
Do we?
Schwartz is strong with his family, you know that.
It is. The Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you. I wish they'd make the sequel.
Spaceballs the Flamethrower. The kids love this one.
I wish that they'd make the sequel. Search for more money.
Search for more money. Jenner Custom Toys said, "Hello, sorry I'm late. My wife made me watch Pirates of the Caribbean." I'm sorry.
Sorry, man. What's up, Bruce?
Mark said Mr. Potato Head. I don't know why.
Hold on, what?
Mark just said Mr. Potato Head, and then he said potato.
So that was in Shanghai. I'm not sure why Short Round was in Shanghai since he spoke Cantonese. Mr. Potato Head.
And then Jenner Custom Toys says he was in House 2.
Oh.
Love Mel Brooks. I do too. I literally like daily and weekly quote Mel Brooks.
Bruce.
When I'm outside doing yard work, my dad and I used to be like, could be worse, could be raining. You know, there's so many things. You know, when I get stuck trying to move something in the garage and then I'm stuck in between the wall and I'm like, put the Kindle back. Or
He was actually Ham.
He was. He was also the
in
Mack
Toy
truck
Story.
in Cars.
Yep, he's been in every Pixar movie ever made.
Voice.
He has a voice in every Pixar movie ever made. But I gotta mention this. Bruce, Jenner Custom Toys. I love the fact that you referenced House 2.
Caleb says
Hold on.
Caleb's going. I'm just letting you know so you can say goodbye to him. He says, I gotta head out. My girlfriend wants to watch Will You Be My Neighbor. See y'all tomorrow.
Ooh, going out with the girlfriend. Gotta watch some Mr. Rogers, huh? No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Hey, go have some fun, Caleb. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and stay out of trouble. All right.
Hey, go ahead.
All right. No, House 2, man. So I remember seeing House 2 as a kid, and I loved House 2 as a kid. And recently I found a DVD copy of House 1 and House 2. I have not watched House 2 in over 30 years. And I want to see it. It's still in the cellophane, and I want to pull it out so bad because it's been something that I've remembered since I was a kid. And yeah, fun movie. I wonder how it stacks up because I haven't seen it in so long. But yes, you're right. John Ratzenberger was in that movie.
Mark says, have a work meeting. Be back later.
All right, bro.
But he said, Mark did say my adolescence was spent in the Star Wars movie. Does that make it canon too?
Yes.
Mark was saying he was Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story. Ratzenberger. That's what the Potato Head reference was.
Oh yeah. That's why I said he was Ham. That's why I said he was Ham, because he was actually Ham. I'm trying to think of who actually was Mr. Potato Head.
He was the voice of Potato Head also.
Was he?
Yes. That's why he was saying that.
John Ratzenberger did 2 voices?
Voiceover people usually do like 4 or 5. You know how that's how they are with Family Guy and The Simpsons. Shadow says, my Star Wars channel is focusing on Legends, EU, and new canon because, well, as Star Wars. LOL. Jenner Custom Toys says John Ratzenberg was Mr. Potato Head. Darth Tasty says, I knew he wasn't Toy Story. He was also in Finding Nemo. Wasn't. Mark said, see ya. Tanya says, where is that roof deal video at?
I still gotta put. Yeah, nope. You guys are not right.
Jenner Custom Toys says Norm was in the original. Did you like my sling blade?
I did like your sling blade. That's why I shared it with my friend Aaron, because my friend Aaron does sling blade all the time.
Fried potatoes.
Yeah, he does that all the time. So that's why I posted it to my friend Aaron. But
No,
you guys are all wrong. Sorry.
Custom says no, Buddy Hackett was Potato Head. My bad.
Nope, Buddy Hackett was not Mr. Potato, at least not in the original one.
Jenner says John was the piggy bank.
That's what I said. He was
And
Ham.
Jenner says Tiff, just call me Bruce.
Yep.
Ah, sorry.
So John Ratzenberg was Ham. He's always been Ham. He was not anybody else. Don Rickles was Mr. Potato Head. The late Don Rickles. So I don't know if he passed and somebody else did it.
Darth said your sling blade was awesome, Bruce. Stop hitting people with the rubber hose. Bruce says crap, you're right.
Crap, you're right. Now I do want to know who did his voice in the fourth one, because he had passed.
Fourth what?
So apparently, I just looked it up. Don Rickles had signed on to do Toy Story 4, but then he died 2.5 years later. The legendary comic had not recorded dialogue yet while the script was being written. That's why in the movie they took different parts. They said nobody could replace Don Rickles.
No, because it says that Don Rickles was still Mr. Potato Head before.
Yep. So they said nobody could replace Don Rickles, so they actually took dialogue that they had for him, canned dialogue that they had from him for different movies, and
I love Estelle Harris as Mrs. Potato Head though too.
oh yeah,
The voice of she's also in SpongeBob, isn't she?
yes,
Mrs. Puff.
yeah. Well, that's fun. That's cool to know.
Bruce says I have a new idea for Carl. Tanya said, did you ever watch the Cat in the Hat movie? Bruce says Don Rickles was a raunchy comedian, loved him.
Yeah, Don Rickles was fun.
Another raunchy comedian that I loved was like this.
I've been doing that. It's on the lock thing.
But another raunchy comedian that I thought was hilarious and I loved him until he passed was the same guy that was in the Rocky movies. I'm gonna make you eat thunder and crap lightning. When he was in
Burgess Meredith.
Grumpy Old Men, and he's like, "You want to see my man-sized manicotti? You want?" And then they do like all those like scenes.
You got really close when you said that.
Well, it's the way that he did. I mean, because he got really close to like the woman when he was trying to like hit on her, and he's like, I eat a breakfast, I eat a whole plate of bacon, and then for lunch I eat a bacon sandwich. And I drink my dinner. And he was just so funny, but he was like a raunchy old man. But at least he seemed like it more so in that movie, but I also liked him in the Rocky movies.
Yeah. I got one for you.
How about you come over and we watch some iCarly and sit in the squishy bath?
Squishy bath.
Squishy bath.
With an F.
When I used to do my radio
Squishy
program,
bath.
I'm gonna have to take some of that audio and make them into videos. Because I've got audio.
Bruce says, by the way, Enosh, thanks for helping with our group.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm so happy.
And then Tanya says, I need a charger to my phone. No.
In fact, one of the things I need to contact the guy who's in charge of that group.
Yes, Darth.
Because I've been approving people, but I only approve people who answer the questions, and so I don't know what his take on that. To me, if people don't answer the questions, like that's part of joining a group, and that's a red flag to me. But it's not my group to disapprove anybody. So when they answer the questions, because I think you should, especially with a customs group like that, you don't want anybody who's going to come in there and start giving everybody a hard time. No, when I had my radio program, we had characters that would spawn every once in a while.
There's
and
so
we'd
many
do bits.
times that come out, and I'm like, is that Peaches Stevens?
Oh my gosh, I did a segment called The Nosh Pit, where I would read these crazy news stories from all over, and I had my friend Mike Beer was my sidekick, and we did the show together.
He used to sit to the left of you, but he was your right-hand man.
Yep, to my left, my right-hand man, and he was
That's
funny
where
because
Tiff-tastic was born.
That's where Tiff-tastic was born, because Tiffany was on the show.
That was my radio handle.
And we would do that, and we're talking about bringing it back as a podcast. that we do here on the channel. But we talked about different topics and fun stuff, and we had these different, little bits that we did. And we did this thing called the Nosh Pit, and that's where a lot of the bits came from, because I would find these just crazy news stories from all over the world, and we would read them and we would talk about them and stuff. And so, like, there was a news story. I can't even remember what Peaches Stevens did. There was some chick named Peaches Stevens.
And she liked Mike Bear.
She did some crazy thing, and so I made it out. I had her call into the radio program.
She had a crush on him.
And that she had a big crush on Mike, and I would call
it. Was Mike Rock
she'd
Lobster,
call,
Night Rider Beer.
Yeah, we changed his name all the time. He was Mike Rock Lobster Beer for a while. He was Mike Night Rider Beer, and then I would call in and go, "Oh, Mike, it's me. It's Peaches Stevens."
You got the dog all concerned.
I know the dog's like, "Oh, Mike, it's such a pleasure to be able to talk to you again, Mike."
Yeah, he's like, "Daddy, are you
And he'd always
okay?"
be trying to get rid of me. We had a gay
okay.
we had a gay demon called Toby, based on the Paranormal Activity movies, that would call in, and because he was from Hollywood, and be like, "Hi guys."
Because the real devil ran for president.
Yeah, we had the devil on our show for a while. He was
Running
running.
for president.
He was running for president in 2012, and be a
Be
rebel.
a rebel, vote for devil.
Be a rebel, vote for devil, because his whole thing was whoever won, he'd probably have some kind of say in it anyways, and so
I'm just gonna run.
might as well just run for it. But one of the things that came up once was this character, Taboo Uncle, and Mike did this character just awesome.
You can do that voice too, Bruce.
What's that?
Go ahead, finish yours.
So Mike did this voice of this guy named Taboo Uncle. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but
or it started off as Inappropriate Uncle, and then it was Taboo.
We actually gave him the name Taboo Uncle, and it was almost a Sling Blady kind of thing.
It was
because he would talk down like this right here, kind of get in your ear, and so he'd be like right up in your ear like this, like real nice and low, so you could hear him, just right. And he would talk. I don't know if you guys remember the commercials, like around 2012. There was an item called Squishy Bath. Where it was like
BAFF.
No, it was actually called Squishy Bath, but he would say it as Squishy Bath. I believe. Was it actually called Squishy Bath?
Squishy Bath.
Okay, it might have been. Anyways,
because that's why he emphasized it.
And
because
so
it was like a Jello-y.
Yeah, because it was like the stuff that you could put in your kid's bathtub, and it would like gel up, and it was like beady and stuff, and your kids could like have fun, and then it would turn back into liquid and just go down the drain. It was like tons of fun. And so he would do stuff because he'd get right on the mic and like be really quiet, and it was almost an ASMR kind of thing, because he'd be like, "Hey there, hey, you look mighty pretty there. How's about you come over to my house? We could drink some ginger ale and watch some iCarly, and I don't know, maybe sit in a kiddie pool of Squishy Bath." And so we had lots of fun with that. Yeah, we need to bring that back. That was too much fun to let that go. But you know what I should do is I should upload old episodes of that program, because every once in a while I'll listen back to it and I'm like, man, this was darn funny.
Or you'll laugh at your own show.
Yeah, I laugh at my own show. Sorry, I listen to my own CDs of music.
Bruce says, "I only approve the questions only too, so I agree with you." Tanya said, "Do you live in West Virginia?" Bruce says they live in Michigan. Tanya says, "I have to go get my charger. I'll be right back." Bruce says, "Didn't you wear that shirt yesterday, Enosh?" And then...
No, Bruce. Yesterday we did the live stream. I wore this shirt 2 days ago. I did the live stream yesterday of wrestling, and I was wearing my Hot Rod shirt, my Roddy Piper shirt, and my Superman shirt underneath.
That was your clean Star Wars shirt for today's Star Wars show.
Yep.
I am an Everlast because that's what I wore to work today.
Yep.
In the office that is yours.
But I did change my shirt because I was wearing my blue and white sweatshirt that then had a stain going. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. Like, do you guys just have like clothes that you just like hang out in, and like it doesn't matter? Like you're eating soup and you get some soup on it, and you're just like you wipe it off, but it's just like they're so comfy that like you just like, well, I'll get to cleaning it. Until I get to clean it, it's fine. Like just sit around the house, just sitting around the house.
I spill something on my shirt. I throw it in the laundry and get another shirt.
That's why my clothes last so long.
Or don't.
Because I don't wash them all the time. No, if I'm going somewhere, I'm gonna wash them, whatever. But like
Bruce also said you sounded like Herbert from Family Guy, and then he said, "Do the voice."
Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've done that voice. I don't even know if I can do it anymore.
That's.
Man.
He's always talking to Chris.
Yeah.
No, because the one that you do mostly is the
Hey there.
not the
You're a musty little paper boy, aren't you?
no, because the
You
one
gotta
that
get
you
the-
would do
you
is
gotta
the,
get the-
oh no.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that I like.
Oh,
What's his? I forgot his name.
I can't remember his name either.
But he's like, I was gonna get some cookies for the
oh
meeting, but that's okay.
no. I was gonna watch the Poindexter. I was gonna watch.
I don't know, man. It's been so long since I've done that one too.
I was gonna watch the Poindexter Lounge, but now my internet's not working. Oh no.
Bruce says, "Hey now, Sling Blade is mine. I call dibs, lol. Unless you give me Jar Jar." Jenner or
Misa thinking you'll not know what you're talking about.
Bruce says
Who's
that
in
sounds
bigger doo-doo?
gross.
What?
Bruce says that sounds gross. Probably talking about squishy.
Oh.
And then Bruce said, "Sounds like Elvis and Bob Crane combined." Tanya says, "I have a question for you guys. Watch the Flash on the CW scene in crisis mode, and the Flash on the CW is a Elizabeth and a drink because I don't know if I can do a live on the CW scene in crisis." Sorry, all that auto-corrected. That makes a lot more sense. Darth says we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Why are you abusing your employees, Bruce? LOL. Shadow says, what if Luke and Ahsoka actually met, but we have never seen it on the screen yet? Bruce says, you're lucky I'm wearing anything right now. Quarantine problems.
True that.
Darth said, that would be awesome, Shadow. And then Ethan Skywalker says, that is what I want to see also. And Darth says, I live in my I Love Star Wars hoodie.
Aw, that's cool, man. And you can get your own hashtag I Love Star Wars hoodie right here in the descriptions of our channel. You can go right to our channel and our very own Marquez from Marquez T-shirts.
The little dog sweatshirts for that say I Love Star Wars.
Oh my goodness! So Marquez just sent me a new design for you wrestling fans, and it's like the NWO, and it says Poindexter Lounge. I think it says for life. I'd have to look at it again, but I think it says Poindexter Lounge for life. That's
Nice.
cool.
Bruce says there's no proof that I abused Carl, just saying.
Okay, so I don't know that I want Ahsoka to meet Luke. And here's why. Here's why. I don't want Luke to have any contact with Jedi or Force users, or I don't feel like everybody has to meet each other and everybody has to know each other in the universe. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know, look, if it happens, I'd go, oh, that's cool. You know, that's fine. Like, I'm going to be mad about it. But, like, I don't need to see that because, like, I feel that...
Kind of like I didn't need a Boba Fett as a kid. I didn't need this. I don't need...
Yeah, I don't need, you know, Luke. I mean, like, what would be the point? Obi-Wan...
Just because they can.
Obi-Wan is overshadowing him. And, like, by the time Luke goes to meet Obi-Wan... And talk, you know, and really get to know Obi-Wan. Obviously, there had been some contact before that because he knew of Obi-Wan, but they didn't have like some kind of friendship or relationship. He knew of Ben, right? And he just knew, you know, Ben Kenobi. You know, he didn't know Obi-Wan Kenobi. He just knew that he was this old hermit. You know, so he was probably like this old creepy guy, kind of like Herbert. Now I'm just imagining. Obi-Wan is Herbert.
Oh, look at that. And look at the muscly little moisture farmer.
That's too high.
I know, it's way too high.
Because he's like, all I can think of is
it's been a while since I've done that voice.
The dog that like drags his legs. He's like, get out there and do your peeps and poops.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring those muscly little thighs over here? I'll show you my lightsaber.
You sound like you're a Southern Belle. You need to watch Family Guy. That's your homework and get the
I
Herbert
haven't
voice
done
down.
those voices in forever. Oh my gosh, I haven't done
You'll
those
have to
voices
watch
in
some
forever.
Family Guy and you get the Herbert voice down.
Yep. But I don't know that it would be cool to see just from a standpoint of like, oh yeah, look at they're seeing each other and that's cool. But I don't know that I want that. because I think I think that stuff like that kind of takes away from the mystique of the bigger world that Star Wars is, and everybody doesn't have to run
Bruce
into
says,
each other.
Inesh, let's do a voiceover. That would be a great voiceover. Tanya says, I love you all, and are you going to play Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, and will you look at the school to meet the new updates and the Flash on the CW all still autocorrected?
I think the
Darth
boys.
says it's super soft and comfortable about his sweatshirt, and then Ethan says, when is the next episode of Flash? Also, do you think Reverse Flash will return, or is he gone for good?
Oh no, Reverse Flash is coming back.
Tanya
Reverse
says,
Flash
will
is
you
never
play
going to be
Lego
gone.
Star Wars when the Skywalker Saga? Yes, we will, because we've played all the Lego Star Wars.
Yep.
And that's actually between Lego Star Wars and the Indiana Jones Lego games.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of stuff from watching it and 50% from playing the game. Like, wait a minute, no, that's right, I get this piece of the Lego Star Wars. And it's funny how that's
true.
how I
Yeah,
remember some of this stuff.
The boys loved those games, man. When those.
But
games
because
came
they
out.
did, that's the one thing we played with them, and we're like, or we play together and be like, come on this way, we gotta get this Lego
Yep.
piece.
Yep. I remember yelling at Landon.
Mhm.
Landon would be off doing something stupid in the game, and I'd be like, Landon, come on, we gotta go over here. Come on,
That
we gotta get
and when,
this.
when Mario, when we play 4 at a time, and we were just like, come on, quit bubbling up.
Right. Yep. No, it is not up yet. He just sent it to me yesterday, and I just got to find the time to actually upload it onto the Teespring.
It's moving because the dog is laying underneath it. She's almost like straddling like the third one.
I know.
But there's a cute pink.
No,
dog.
but I will get that up though because it's a great design from Marquez. So I will definitely get that up, and I got some ideas for some other like toy related T-shirts as well, and fun merchandise.
Doris said the Lego Star Wars cartoon, The Freemaker Adventures, is not bad, even though it's for
True.
kids. There's a lot of good adult humor.
That's true too. That's true. The only thing that I think that I haven't really enjoyed, Lego Movie 2 was a little rough.
Cause I'm Batman.
Lego Movie 1 was phenomenal. I did not really care for Lego Batman. It was just kind of there to me. I didn't like that so much. I don't know. It just wasn't. Everything is cool when you're party.
I said that just as Bruce texted it. That's awesome.
Is it?
Bruce says everything is awesome as soon as I sang it, so we technically said it at the same
Oh.
time. Tanya said, I'm sorry, teacher, but I will be there tomorrow. Sorry, wrong live stream, but will you stream Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga? Darth says, I like the Lego Batman movie. The first Lego movie is definitely the best, though. I agree. Technically, if one of the boys buy it,
If one of
we
the
can
boys
stream
want to do it, that's fine. See, here's the thing. I like video games. My video games, though, that I like more are upright video games. Like I got the Star Wars
I felt like we could
arcade
make that
game.
fit better in here.
Oh, yeah, I got the Star Wars arcade game over there. I also have a Miss Pac-Man upright video game and a Superman upright video game that I want to get fixed this year. But my Pac-Man, Tiffany upgraded for me. It was just a dedicated old school Miss Pac-Man. Tiffany upgraded it for me, so now it's got an LCD screen in it, and it's got over 65 of the old school games. I mean, it's got
Frogger, it's got awesome, like, fun old school
I mean,
games.
it's got, I should live stream that one day. It's got every Pac-Man.
They would probably lose their freaking mind seeing how far you get in Pac-Man if you did the fast version.
I love the fast version of Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man is my
That's
jam.
what you should do. When you have free time, when we're on quarantine and I'm working, like, my real job, you can be in there with the camera going, and then watch, and they'd be like, oh my gosh!
Yeah, and then I'll die because then I'll be, I'll be under the pressure. Although one time I remember everybody was in here doing something, and I just randomly went in to play a game, and I can't remember how far. I got like the furthest I ever got, and it was just like
No one was there to witness it.
no one was there to witness it, and I was like tearing it up. I was in there for like I played that game I think for about an hour. And I can't remember how many boards I ended up clearing, but it was like more boards than I had ever cleared in my life. And I do pretty well in Miss Pac-Man. But man, I was just like, it just seemed like everything was falling into place for me, and there's and I was just but nobody was in there to witness it.
Drew said, Tanya said everything is awesome when fart face clouds ruin all movies. Bruce says my new custom, Boba Vader. Your thoughts? And then Bruce said, dude, get an emulator. You can play them all.
Well, that's.
And then Tanya said, guys, I have a question. Darth said, I used to have thousands of games on an emulator myself. I also can get really far on all the Pac-Man games. I had it for Atari when I was a kid.
Nice. Nice. What's your question, Tanya? I'm sure you do. What's your question? By the way, guys, Tanya really likes the Flash. So we like her. Yeah, I've been that's my video game thing. Like I
And you like the original NES.
Yeah.
You have more old school stuff.
Yeah, I don't have time all the time to sit down and play newer video games. You know, like I'd love to play the new Star Wars.
Crossings right now.
I know, I would love to play
You're what?
After the summer, switches me to the mainstream system.
Yeah, which is easier for you to follow anyway because you're used to NES stuff.
Mhm.
So that'll be good for you for Switch being mainstream.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd love to play the new Star Wars game.
Bruce says Pac-Man is on a 150-inch projector is a life changer. And then Tanya's
Wow.
question is, when is Back Flash coming? Or
Black-
when is Black
Black
Flash coming?
I don't know when Black Flash is coming.
Tanya says, I love the Flash and all
Yeah.
that.
No, it's just that's the rumor right now is that eventually Black Flash is going to make a return. So
Black Flash is coming back.
Black Flash back. Black Flash back. Black Flash.
Black Flash is coming back. Can't say it faster than
Oh,
that.
Blackberry, bam lamb. Oh, Blackberry, bam lamb. Oh, Blackberry,
Betty.
bam lamb. No, I saying berry.
Oh.
Because it's berry. Because
I was
berry
thinking
is the
like
Flash.
fruit berry like you eat.
He's Blackberry.
Bruce.
Apparently it's something we can't say.
Very
What,
last one.
why'd you go Black Flash? You can't go back.
Darth says you got to get the NES Classic System. It comes with 50 games that you can download a patch and put.
Yeah,
over
but see, that's not the
750
same.
on there.
Hold on, though. That's just not the same. Isaac has it, and it's fun. It's fun.
Is that 30? Oh, he's talking about 50 games, and then you can put over 750 on there.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's fun. And actually, you know what? That's fine. I don't have
He
a
would
problem with
rather
that.
sit there and try and make it fit and use a Q-tip with rubbing alcohol to make it work. And
I don't do that anymore. I clean my games now. I learned how to open them up and get all of the
crud from the 80s.
the crud from the 80s. That's what it is.
We're spending all the time going. Oh, like
Getting
food
spit all over.
labels.
There's like spit and all kinds of stuff all over it. Glad the coronavirus wasn't back then because we would every kid 13 and under would have had it.
That's why they had Super Mario.
Right, but
Dr.
I
Mario.
got a stack of games. There's just something about having a regular NES with the old school real controller that's not new. You know, because the new ones don't play quite the same. And then there's just some games, you know, that like
It's from us trying to mash A together to make us run. That's why.
you got to press B and then over and then use your thumb to hit A. But
Darth says the Super Nintendo Classic System is great as well. Tanya says I have.
those are all cool. It's just I know Isaac has the NES one.
Yeah, even though I have the NES Classic, I still want to get like all the systems.
The original NES, like the old fashioned, like this one.
Yeah.
So you
What's
have
up,
the
Isaac?
little one.
Here comes Isaac.
He's been Fortnite.
He's been
No,
Fortnite.
I've been on YouTube.
Oh,
he's
YouTube.
on YouTube. Oh, he's been watching. Oh, okay. Not us, but he's been watching
Well, that's
somebody.
the perfect timing because Tanya has a theory for Flash that you would
Okay.
So, but yeah,
Yeah, even though I still have the NES Classic and I want to get the SNES Classic, I still want to have like my own like NES and SNES and like those systems.
yeah.
He actually has like the 6-cube thing in his room, so he can play and display. So he has like the GameCube
Yeah,
here and the
That's
Wii.
what I
And
do.
That's cool.
that way he can pull out and hook up the ones he wants to play and then put it back to display them, which I think is a great idea for him.
That's cool.
Tanya says, I have a theory the Reverse Flash is coming back in season 7 to try to turn the Flash into a Black Flash. Is that what they mean? And then Bruce says A, B, A, C, A, D, A, B, B, A.
Up, down, left, right, B, A.
Select.
Start. Well, we would hit select because you're not there by that. Then yeah, so you'd hit select start.
Because she says, when is Black Flash coming back?
It's
And
a-
you can say that, but
The only Black Flash that we know of in the Arrowverse is Zoom,
Yeah.
which was when he got turned into the Black
What
Flash.
about the Death Flash?
That's,
Is that what he
yeah,
turned
that's
into
Black Flash,
when
yeah.
the race got him?
That's what
Yeah.
Zoom turned into. Yes.
Yeah, that's Black Flash. Yeah, the only one that we know of is Zoom when he turned into the Black Flash at the end of season 2, and then showed up back again in season 2 of Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless there's more out there that we don't know about, and Zoom's the only one. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Darth actually said the problem of getting all the games from the old systems, as some of them are getting expensive. I have friends that buy them and sell them, and some of the games cost more than they did in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, like Aaron said, he wanted to get me like Smash Bros with the GameCube when the Melee. No, not Melee. That's Wii.
He said that was Mortal Kombat, the ABACABBA.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I knew it
what was
was
that code
something.
again? ABACADABBA.
Here, I'll just screenshot it that way.
That's right.
You can have it.
Let's get the blood.
Finish him.
I remember that.
Yeah, like I said, he wanted to get me Smash Bros for the GameCube, but he said it was like crazy expensive.
Yeah, because it's like people are hoarding them, or like if they're still in good.
Well, it's because
version.
there's only so many good copies left
Hi here.
after they've discontinued that game pretty much.
Darth says that's a Mortal Kombat, or Darth said that was a Mortal Kombat code, and then Darth said, what about up, down, left, right, BA, start. Bruce says that's why I just use an emulator. Bruce says yes, Darth. Bruce says it's abracadabra. And then, because the ABACADABBA, he says it's abracadabra.
I see.
And then Darth says your Mortal Kombat code is off by 1, Bruce.
Uh-oh.
Bruce says so is my mental state.
That'd be one thing I'd really like to see with them bringing all of these like older Star Wars games to Switch, is the older Mortal Kombat games.
True.
Cause I think
Abacab. Darth said. ABACABB.
Yep, Abacab.
Save that one just to be safe.
You really think I have all my ducks in a row? I have squirrels and they're drunk.
Nice.
Squirrel nut zippers. I pulled up the stream on here so we can look at
See what they see?
yeah, and so now I can see the I didn't realize we could do that, so that's awesome.
You've been doing this for how long?
I know, and I haven't thought about that. See, but now we can watch ourselves
On a big screen.
watching you.
In the now?
Yeah, I wonder what this will do if I set this like right here and show that. What's weird is it's not showing the video in real time, but it's showing the talkback in real time.
yeah, because there's a slight.
Because there's a slight delay.
Bruce says, give me a break. That code was from memory. I'm old.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
We're not watching ourselves, watching ourselves.
Yeah, it's like Poindexterception.
I know. In just a second, there'll be a third layer. Or a fourth layer, actually, right? Because we're watching ourselves. And here we go. Check it out. Nice. We're watching ourselves.
Oh, that ear freaked me out, dude. It like his ear like went like this on my chin, and it just like freaked me out.
yeah, Wookie even looked at you like.
I'm more WWE
Hold on.
fan. Shadow Kratias says, oh, here it goes. We're watching ourselves now. So I'm more of a WWE fan because growing up about it.
Yeah, it's like. I don't know,
Secrets of the Jedi Handbook, I confirmed that Luke learns and knows about Ahsoka and the other Jedis before I uploaded audiobook footage on the Star Wars channel. Huh.
This year they're adding
Oh, last one.
Star Wars
Last one. We're watching ourselves, watching ourselves, watching ourselves,
It's
watching
blue.
ourselves,
It's
watching
like
ourselves,
Jedi
watching
shadow.
ourselves, watching
Oh, yeah,
ourselves.
'cause it keeps on.
That's crazy. Look how much we're watching ourselves now.
They're weird.
And it's kind of cool because look, it almost looks like the chat is 3D.
Looks like in Portal when you shoot a portal like in front of
Yes.
you and behind you.
Yes.
And it's blue like a Force ghost.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool.
So we're coming
like
back
that.
as a Force ghost.
I like that. And I love the fact that it says the Force is strong with this one on all of them. Okay. We'll turn back around.
Your wife came up and put that in the house.
I know, my wife is pretty cool.
Bruce says now the world is going to implode on itself. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we have Jedi Knight 2 on Switch now, which was that game
Oh,
right there.
nice.
And then yesterday during the direct they announced Jedi Academy, which was an older game. And then they said later this year they're adding episode 1 Pod Racers.
Hey, pretty girl. You wanna be in my dream?
There we go. Oh, you got that?
Oh, I want to lick Isaac too.
I just get the butt.
I know you just had a shower, but let us lick you. Bookie's like, I can't figure it out, dude. It's the old dog channel. Star Wars dogs.
That's right, butt rubs. Nothing but dogs have the best lives, man. They don't have to worry about nothing. Nope.
Bruce
Well, right in the
Bruce
roof of the
said
mouth.
butt rubs.
Right in the roof of the mouth. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. And you
I
get
know
butt
how it-
rubs. Oh,
yeah.
look at her. This is all chill.
The thing that I think is interesting about what the Jedi Academy is it takes place during the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And you get trained by Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that's cool.
All I see on the screen is it says Bruce butt rubs.
This is Jenner Custom Toys. Butt rubs. There'd be a nice custom butt rub. What do you think of that?
Woof.
What do you think of that? Huh? What you think of that? Did you like that?
Bruce says butt rubs and under the collar.
Exactly. That's what we got right here.
Oh, what are we doing, Wookie? What are we doing?
What, they're kissing? What are we doing here? Hey now, chill. Chill.
Hey, watch it. Hey, you watch it.
She's like, come here, my bro.
Hey, watch it.
It's a dog smackdown.
Uh-oh.
Bruce says, I know me some dog loving.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't say that out loud if I were you.
I want to know what's in the box now.
What the fuck?
Oh, I thought it said what's in the box.
Hey now. Hey. What?
What's in the box?
Well, you don't normally talk like that. What are you doing?
It's like, I'm sick of being quarantined and around this woman.
I'm around you guys 24/7. I'd rather be in my cage during the day.
Darth said the Jedi Academy games were a lot of fun.
Hey, we're doing a live show, you guys. Hey, you guys, this is live. What do you need? What's going on? Hey, you're all right. You're all right. You're chill. It's all good. Good boy.
I think that's
We're not
the sign that the live stream has to be done.
This comes out on Tuesday.
Yes, I want to get that on my Switch. It's Bubble Bobble 4.
For a reason, Jenner.
What?
He said, "Don't make it dirty." Belgium already outlawed that. Dog loving. He said, "I know some dog loving." I'm like, belly work, right? You got your belly.
She's got the pink belly.
She likes the belly work. She likes the belly work. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we? Biting each other's faces. These two have just been crazy. Hey,
That comes on Tuesday.
calm down.
Be 40.
Calm it. Calm your butts. Hey,
You can't be bumping into stuff though. Okay? Just calm yourself.
Akuna, your tatas.
Apparently Bubble Bobble is still going on. Because the fourth one
Okay.
was on Tuesday.
Yeah, Bubble Bobble 4's coming out Tuesday.
Bubble Bobble
I
4?
love Bubble
Yeah.
Bobble.
Bubble Bobble. You do like Bubble.
It drove me nuts, but I liked it. Like half of the NES games. Like after a while, Dr. Mario drove me nuts, where you're just like, no, I can do this, and it's like stacked up to the top, and you're like, no, I can do this, and I'm like, my brain just like 5 layers ago.
She was trying to walk away, and he just reached out and like grabbed her leg with his mouth. It was just like, nope.
Yeah, they're dog smackdown. You should show them. Don't.
Hey! Not with the cables.
You're a bit through enough.
I don't think we want to show them.
Bruce says we're not worthy. Guess what I'm watching?
So here's a funny thing. Here's such a funny thing, man. A couple of years ago, for our church thing, I was talking to some people because we were making a video and it was talking about going back in time, and I said we should do the whole Wayne and Garth thing and do like the like I don't like this ending. Let's do the other ending. And he was like, my friend Jordan just looked at me like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, you
That's
got
when we
it.
feel old.
And so like I had to get him to act out the doodle-doo thing, but I had to show it to him online because he had never seen.
Youngin.
Oh my gosh.
Bruce says next up, Masters of Disguise.
Turtle. I haven't seen that movie in a long, long time. You know what movie I just watched last month that I hadn't seen since I was a kid? What with Dana Carvey was oh, I just had it and I totally forgot. Opportunity Knocks. That was a good movie.
I like The Jerk.
Jerk was a good movie.
All I need is this chair. That's all I need. And this.
What was the movie with Jennifer Connelly where they got where she got stuck in the Target with that one guy who was like the poor man's version of John Cryer? Of course, I always thought that John Cryer was the poor man's version of Matthew Broderick. So like the other guy was like the poor man's version of like the really dirt poor version of Matthew Broderick.
The extremely poor version.
The extremely poor version. Like we didn't even get no food stamps. Like we are like we exhausted everything and they will not let us back in.
Bruce says you guys should do a Wayne's World video for Halloween. That would be great.
That would be fun.
So we've seen that.
Bruce says, "Wow, doodly doo."
You haven't
is a
seen Wayne's
piece
World?
of Nerds history. What?
What time is it?
10.
Get everybody down here.
We're thinking too, since we're quarantined, we should watch the Indiana Jones now that you guys are finally older.
I watched those last time I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What did you think watching it the second time?
I like them just as much as the first.
Really? Well, except for we didn't let them watch the scene where the heart was taken out of the chest.
Which
so
is
they-
funny
they were
now.
little.
Which is funny now to me that like you guys were so young that we didn't let them watch Kalima. Kalima.
Hum dum shavai, hum dum shavai, hum dum shavai. But then now that they're
Kalima.
older, they laughed at Jaws. Like, that's supposed to be scary. Look, I couldn't swim in a pool. That makes no sense. I know.
That shark doesn't look real. It's not supposed to.
Bruce
Shut
said Kalima.
up. Kalima. Kalima. I think so too, Darth Tasty. I think so too, Ryan.
Indiana Jones is just as good as Star Wars.
It's just different. Man, stop bumping the camera, you guys.
Earthquake time.
It's just different. You know what? So I did not see Indiana Jones until I was about 12, and I saw it on accident.
Caleb said, Misa back. And then Bruce said, oh crap, I'm that guy again, lingering around because I have no life.
Hey, by the way, Bruce, how you feeling, man? Plus, I grew up watching WWE, and it's confirmed in the Secrets of the Jedi handbook that he learns and knows more about the Jedis and knows more. Oh, hey! No! Get her out! Get her! Okay, wait! Hold on! Not on live television. Come on! Oh, there it is. She just dropped off some Link sausages. Oh, and now you're gonna come up here to say hi? You're gonna tell everybody what you did? Huh?
I got it. What? Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, if you're a turd in the sun, it could be worse. You could be a turd on my floor right now.
Dude.
Right?
Smells like so many buttholes right now. Plethora of butts.
So many buttholes right now. That's interesting. It's an interesting way to put it.
Plethora of buttholes.
Oh my gosh. No, Shadow, I have heard that he does know about Ahsoka and that, he knows about all those things. I just don't think that he would have needed to meet her, though, as a kid or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that really works for that. I like the fact that he's read up on the Jedi, that he knows who the Jedi are, that he understands, who they all are. But, Ryan says best comment ever, Tiff.
Huh?
Ryan said best comment ever, Tiff.
What?
It smells like
Oh.
how's,
She peed over here too.
oh, she peed over there too. Love puppies. Gotta love
She
puppies.
peed in two places and crapped in front of you in the camera.
She's not usually that bold to just sit there and be like,
I just figured, hey, you're on a live stream. You can't do
I'm just gonna sit here and do it. I'm doing this thing. Oh boy. Well, Bruce, you're gonna have to let us know how you're doing, man. But yeah, like I don't have a problem with Luke knowing about all those things and all those people. I just think that meeting her would be a little over the top and kind of, bringing stuff a little too close to home. Oh, okay, Bruce. Yeah, well, excuse me. I mean, you need to make sure that you're healthy, and we don't want you to be sick, man. Yeah, I don't know what they're really doing for people right now. Just don't take ibuprofen, apparently. You gotta love times like this, man, when you get so many messages from everybody and their mother about, what to do, what not to do.
Meanwhile, I'm in the medical field following what my nurse says.
It's just kind of crazy right now.
Hmm? What? Yes.
Well, Shadow, you should join us tomorrow. We're gonna do WWE our favorite matches live stream tomorrow, where we're gonna watch some more. I've heard so far that the ibuprofen thing is true. Apparently, that they say don't take ibuprofen. I've heard that ever since the beginning, was to not take ibuprofen, but to take Tylenol. And there's some other thing that they say to take, but so we Tiffany and I can't take ibuprofen anyways, just because we've had weight loss surgery, and so our bodies can't process it correctly, and so we wouldn't do that anyways. But I guess it's better safe than sorry when it comes to something like that. But yeah, tomorrow, probably about 1 o'clock, we're gonna do another. Yeah, Tylenol. Tylenol is pretty much all we can take. Yeah, I used to take ibuprofen for my back, especially. My aunt had the same surgery as you, and I'm almost positive she takes ibuprofen. But then again, she's not doing what she's supposed to do after the surgery. Yeah, a lot of people do that, unfortunately. And the thing is it's anything with NSAIDs in them you're not supposed to take, because your body doesn't process them, and that can cause you like major issues if you do that. So I try to stick to the rules and not mess that up. Try to do what I'm supposed to do when it comes to that. But yeah, so tomorrow 1 o'clock we'll do a live stream watching more WWE matches. So come and bring your favorite match ideas. We had, telling you, man, you're so you hit that on the head, Ryan. you can't do certain things. You know, you can't have so much sugar. You can't just go. You can go back to eating kind of normal, but you know, I see people all the time. They're like, they get into stuff and they're just like way overdoing it again, and that's what leads to trouble. It leads to problems, and then also, yeah, I mean, drinking alcohol. Your body can't. People forget that your body can't process it anymore the same way. Plus, you can't have the. I forgot, and I just had, you know, because I was taking vitamin C, and we had some of those packets of emergency, you know. But I totally wasn't thinking, you know, because they're effervescent and, you know, and they bubble up and stuff like that. For me to take that, I have to make sure that it goes flat first, because the bubbles, you only have so much room in your stomach, and the bubbles create an issue. Like, we're not even supposed to drink out of a straw, so they don't even want us to chew gum after the surgery, because apparently the studies show that chewing gum can enlarge your pouch and cause you issues. So, people look at me all the time, and my grandma, not too long ago, I can't remember where we were at with my grandmother, and I love her. She raised me. She's like my mom, but she what did she have? She had a pizza just last week, this last Saturday. We went to her house, and she had a pizza, and she kept saying, Enosh, do you want some pizza? And I'm like, no, I do not want the pizza. Look, do I want the pizza? Yes. Did I end up smelling the napkin later? Yeah, because it smelled awesome. But, you know, I'm just not doing it. So I just noticed that our little vehicle collection is up there on the screen. We got...
I was eating some granola. I'm hungry.
You're hungry? It's about that time. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We have been on here for quite a while tonight, but it's always fun hanging out with you guys. Ooh, you're getting hangry? We better get Mama some...
You know, I was thinking when I'm hangry.
I was going to give you a letter on Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So, Bruce says, I lost my weight out of fear, depression, and over exercising. Not the way to go. Darth says, you can tell that you guys are doing what you're supposed to do. Both you guys look excellent. I've seen some of your old videos, major change. Right? Dude, I've watched some of our old videos.
Of course, I'm saying that in like one of my big sweatshirts because it's the weekend.
Because we're just hanging out around. But
technically, I'm wearing this because it has one of these, and I can put everything in this pocket.
There you go.
That's what I wanted.
But yeah, man, I look back on some of our old videos, and I'm like, good Lord, did I eat somebody? Like, why didn't somebody tell me? Like, because nobody told me. Like, but I'm like literally.
Because nobody's gonna say, hey,
you're fat. Yeah, I know. But like, man, it's like I don't see how I could even breathe hardly. Like I look like I feel uncomfortable, but I didn't.
In the middle of the night.
But I didn't. You know, like I didn't realize it. You know, but I'm thankful.
You can't even pretend to like your face anymore to look like.
I know. It was crazy. I had no concept of how big I was when I hear people talk about all the time that, you know, that no matter how skinny they get, that's all they see is how fat they are. Like, I would look in the mirror and I would see a thinner version of myself, and now looking back, I'm like, holy crap. Even when I thought that I was thinner, I was still big. I was huge. You know, I mean, you guys know about my band. We do this Christmas concert, and I just looked at a video from literally just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right before my surgery. It was the Christmas right before my surgery. I had my surgery in April. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary of having my surgery. But
my anniversary is
April. Was it April 29th or April 23rd? I think it was April 23rd.
Mine was October 22nd.
But man, I was interviewed on the news, and like, I didn't realize, man, I was 430 pounds. I was absolutely huge, and I'm thankful for where we're at now, and
except for you having complications for a week while I was taking care of 3 kids, working, and a puppy because he had crapnado in the laundry room.
Yeah, he was a puppy back then. He was the one crapping all over the house. But hey guys, we appreciate you guys.
I did notice
Bruce
that.
says I still see the fat guy I used to be. There's times when you look in the mirror and you're just like, ugh. But I think that's just the mentality you've had for so long.
Yeah. You know what? Bruce? Thank you so much, man. He just said he said thanks for the video, and then he said you and your family are awesome, and I really appreciate that. I am so glad, Bruce, that I reached out to you on eBay, and that we become friends through that. It's kind of funny stuff that you would never expect, But I'm thankful for that.
You've gotten really close to Bruce and Darth.
Yep. Bruce and Ryan are my good buddies.
It's funny because now working, I'm in his office. I'm on the computer for work. I have to have the tablet for if I have to step out because he needs to take over for his stuff, or if I need to be on call, I got to use my tablet. But it's funny though because the tablet is hooked up to everything for him. So I have, my computer going off. My phone is my work phone. I also have text, my email goes off on there, and then all of a sudden I hear ding because I have my own phone things, set up for, so I know what's going off and what I have to answer right away. And all of a sudden I hear ding, 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 and I look and it's Ryan sent him a message. Ryan sent him. I'm like, Ryan sent you like 12 messages.
And I'm like, I know, I'm answering him. We're having a conversation over here.
Because it's hooked up, so whatever you're getting on your phone is going to the iPad. So it's just funny. I'm just like, so you be talking to Ryan today, huh?
Little bit.
A lot of it.
Little bit.
It's just cool that you have that you guys can nerd out.
Yeah, that's fun. It's fun. I love that. So.
Bruce says people come into our lives for a reason. We just don't know why.
That's so true. That is so true. And we're thankful for all of you guys, for our online family, and we just have a blast. So, but yeah, thanks for watching Star Wars with us tonight, guys.
Bruce says I only message you when I have a nerd question.
I love talking to you guys. I have a blast with you guys. So, and I'll tell you what, Bruce has been branching out and doing some videos and some fun stuff lately. I thought it was cool. Like I've been watching his live streams. I had him up on the TV here a couple nights ago.
You did his trivia too.
Yeah, we did his trivia, and he also had a night where he was just talking about stuff and everything, working in his shop and stuff, and he had like that was like an hour and a half that we spent. I had him up on the TV, and I was just watching him, and it was funny because I was like, now I know how you guys feel, because I'm like trying to type everything, and he's like saying something, and I'm like trying to type on my phone.
That's why I speak to text, and if I need to change something autocorrected wrong.
Yeah.
As long as I don't, but the biggest thing that I'm afraid of at work is when I have to type in notes, because note taking is everything in that field. And when you type shift real fast, you don't want to hit enter. Sometimes you miss a letter.
That's true. True that. Well, Bruce, I like the idea of watching Star Wars. Maybe we'll do that this week, for sure. We gotta do something here with the kids real quick, but yeah, I like the idea. You said you were a comedian before, man. I like that idea. Did you see what Junkman did doing the stupid jokes from when he was a kid? I like that, and it's funny because I've been thinking about doing it. Me and Junkman think alike on so many things because he beats me to so many ideas, and I'm like, dang it, I can't do that video now. Because I've been thinking about Junkman did a video of him telling jokes from when he had written in a notebook when he was like 11, but doing them as a stand-up comic, and yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I've got a very
Bruce
interesting.
says sometimes I grow up hair and can be funny.
Took your trivia idea, but it was good. Exactly. So if it's good, it just makes it hard. Then if you want to do it, then it's like dang it. But I've got this really fun monologue as Patrick Stewart. It's Patrick Stewart. How do I put that?
Talking about his favorite part of lady business.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so inappropriate. It's so wrong. It's so stupid. But Tiffany and I, when we were dating, she really liked my Sean Connery impersonation and my Patrick Stewart impersonation.
Because when you did Sean Connery, you talked about how you made your millions was wearing your thong on the beach as 007.
I was wearing my Speedo.
Speedo,
I
not
wore a
thong.
Speedo, a yellow Speedo. There's many pictures of me with my Speedo. That's how I made my millions. And we would just sit and talk on the phone. I would talk to her that way, and then I do it like this.
You also did that when we got married. When I would read my romance novels, I'd be
Oh,
laying
yeah.
on the bed, and then he'd come up behind me. I think he's being nice, and all of a sudden he reads my book as Sean Connery with the accent. I'm like, can you read a couple more chapters?
Yeah, she
Pretty hot.
liked that a lot. And my Patrick Stewart is more of a comical Patrick Stewart. It's more kind of like if
Family Guy.
Yeah.
Not Family Guy. American Dad. American Boy.
American Boy. But yes, I don't know how.
You're not swearing. You can get away with it.
It's basically talking
No
about
kids.
the female anatomy and Patrick Stewart writing.
Because they have a
Right,
thing
right,
on-
almost like postcards or
They have that on Broadway. The
vagina monologues.
So see, you said it.
Yeah. So, but basically Patrick Stewart going, "Dear vagina, keep up. I think you're wonderful. Keep up the good work. Love, Patrick Stewart." And it was just
like the SNL skit like Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. It was
yes,
like
just
Patrick
all these
Stewart.
small little. It's like, "Dear vagina, I saw my friend Guinan the other day and thought of you. Thanks for the memories. Love, Patrick Stewart." Everything signed off. Love, Patrick Stewart. So.
Bruce says the only Sean Connery he does is the one from SNL. That's not what your mother said, Trebek.
That's not what your mother said, Trebek.
Bruce says I could do a great Worf.
Nice.
We'll have to do the Skype where we do like the video, and then you guys would all have to do your
Oh, there we go. I got to figure out a way to record it. Because like you can get all these people online and stuff, but I can't figure out how they record this stuff.
You've tried that with me a handful of times and it hasn't worked.
And I thought that it would work with Zoom because I was on a Zoom thing, but it wouldn't let me screen record it.
Mark Moran in Hawaii. He has one of those things for work that you know who he is on because he's on all the live streams. If he has one of those things that you pay like $15 a month for, but you could have up to 100 people on at once.
Yes.
So he said he'd be willing to do that if we all wanted to kind of.
I just wish that we could screen record it so that we could actually like do some of that stuff like on the channel.
Yeah.
But it won't screen record. It won't. It'll record the video, but it won't record the audio. And I've seen people do it, so I don't know how they're doing it. If
Go on their YouTube and ask them.
yeah, I've
In
tried
different
to.
ways.
I've tried to, but like everything that I found so far says that it's there's no
Are you playing?
workaround for it. But there's got to be something.
Yeah.
Are you playing?
Unless, I don't know.
Unless it's a program or
unless
something.
you use your
Oh,
laptop to try to
jeez.
record your laptop.
It's nails.
You know what I
Like
could
screen
do
record
is
your
record. I could record the audio separate.
Yeah.
And then just put it back in.
Yeah.
Screen record.
Well, no, I think for those, I think more what people do is they have a camera that looks like it's a webcam. Because there's a YouTube channel that I watched called Switchforce back when the Switch first came out. And there's two friends that live on the opposite side of the US, so obviously they can't physically
Yeah.
do videos together.
Yeah.
But they still do daily videos together.
Ow, ow, ow,
and
ow.
they kind of do like, they'd record themselves as they're FaceTiming the other person.
Ow.
So like, they still be FaceTiming their friend like on the computer,
There's like
but record themselves with the camera.
all over me.
So it looked like they're FaceTiming with the way that they edited it together.
Okay.
But they're actually recording themselves.
Gotcha.
Like I know that's what they did, but I don't know if how many people do that.
Bruce says, wish there was a multiple video chat thing that actually works. You could have guest stars.
Let's see.
Darth says that's what StreamYard is, Bruce.
Yeah. So that's
Shadow says I have to go now. I hope you all enjoy some of my Star Wars content on Zack Starkiller.
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. Peace, love, and may the Force be with you.
Back at you, Shadow. Thanks for watching.
It's true, all of it. Ow!
Dang.
Bitey McPhee.
Yeah, Darth. I will check out Streamlabs. Program StreamYard. All right, man. Well, I will check that out, and that'd be fun because then that way we could have different people on the channel. She's gonna pull that over. There it goes. All right, but yeah, I will check that out. Actually, I'm going to screenshot this right now so that. Oops.
Making a ladder. Making a.
I already did.
Oh, what's
I'll give that to you, and I'll see how many iron nuggets you and Logan are at. And whoever's low, I'll give nuggets to.
I forgot I screenshot on this old one.
If that's the case, then I can save up mine so I can give them all to you. Did you build yours yet?
Yeah.
There it is. All right, so I got the picture now. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining us tonight. It was fun. Always love having a good time with you guys. You guys are pretty fun and awesome. So,
Alrighty. Have a wonderful night, and we'll have to maybe chat again tomorrow. Like I said, wrestling show tomorrow, like 1 o'clock. You could be there for that one, and watch the rest. That was fun. We had a lot of fun doing that. There was a lot of people that don't normally even come to these to the live streams, and they were watching along with us as we watched the wrestling matches. So it was a lot of fun. So we got a lot of great ideas for matches tomorrow. And then you can
I'll probably have to bring my Switch down here.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, until next time, we'll see you guys later.
I'm gonna eat some yogurt.
Yogurt.
Yogurt and some granola.
All right. Say goodnight, Tiff.
Can I tip?